The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road is where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll want to settle down. Until tomorrow.
Yeah, forget that. Let's just get straight into it, shall we? Fiery tonight. 0344 499 1000. The Late Night Alternative. I'm Iain Lee. Who the hell are you?
Catherine Boyle.
That's it. If we've got any coloureds listening that would like to call in, can you believe that?
Incredible.
Who said that? Amber Rudd. Was it Amber Rudd? Called, was it I'm assuming it's Diane Abbott.
Yeah.
Coloured.
In a conversation about racism.
So if you're coloured, please give us a call now. 0344
I'm kind of peach coloured.
That's incredible. And then what was it about the Islamophobia?
Oh, this one. Here we go.
This is incredible. This is incredible, man. All of politics in this country is screwed.
Comes to something when the Mail Online is pulling you up about your political correctness. Fury, as Andrea Leadsom says, questions about the Tory Islamophobia row should be sent to the Foreign Office.
Yes, mate. Of course, mate. Coloureds. That's such a... I've not heard that word for such a long time.
It's very...
You're quite... Well, actually, no, I suspect I've heard it on a phone-in on this station, on this show, because sometimes you will get an older person, and I say older, sort of 60-plus, because coloured was the word. That was the word sort of the 70s and 80s. Not quite sure when it changed. Maybe you will know better than me, dear listener. 0344 499 1000. That was the polite word for black people, and now we say black people. That may change at some point in the future. People of colour, that's what we say. Thank you. You're absolutely right. And that may evolve, just as it was acceptable in America to say black people. But I remember talking to Keith from Keith and the Girl about this when we went over there. Calling an African American black is actually quite offensive. It's a couple of rungs down from the N-word.
But I also think that it is moving towards people of colour there as well, and it will change again.
It will change his language. It's fine. But if you're in government and you're doing that, dear God, we are all screwed, dear listener. Lots to talk about this evening. Let me just rattle through a few things. I want to know if you've ever won a pointless award. All awards are pointless. I got a clutch of them. My boys have got them in their bedroom. They're all pointless. What pointless awards have you won? They can be from the ridiculous to the huge. 0344 499 1000. Wasn't really paying much attention to Finding Neverland. I think what I'm going to do... Leaving Neverland. Finding Neverland's the boring film. This is the interesting film. It's kind of on in the background, but Kath and I were chatting. I think, is there a third part? I think there's a third part.
Is there?
I'm probably going to do it all sort of next week, I think, and do it properly, because I was getting distracted, and I think it deserves... I think the stories of those two young men deserve to be listened to properly, and to not just be kind of television wallpaper, which is what they were becoming today. So I'm going to have a proper sit down next week, I would imagine, if I can find the time, and and probably do it in a couple of sessions and give those gentlemen, hey, listen, they took the time out to share their stories of rape and grooming and sexual abuse. The least I can do is sit down and with my phone off and not engage in conversation online and with Catherine and watch and listen to their stories. The very least I can do. And by the way, 0344 499 1000 if you want to call in and if you want to talk about that. I have looked at some of the evidence that the Michael Jackson fans have been shouting about. Not all of it. I have looked at some of it that they say is evidence that Michael Jackson is innocent. It's flimsy at best. Most of it relies on people changing their story. People that seems to be the main thrust of it. Is it's people changing their story. And here's the thing. I used to joke about my sexual abuse. I used to joke about it. I used to laugh about it. And I remembered it slightly wrong yesterday. I said someone pointed out to me it was abuse. It wasn't. I worked it out on air. I was doing a show on LBC and we were doing a show about Slough. Just because we thought, let's go, instead of going macro, let's go really micro. And Slough is where I was from, and Slough is where the people who abuse me live. And someone phoned up about the Cubs, of which I was a member of in Slough, and where it happened. And I said, by the way, did this happen to you? And I mentioned it, like laughing, and they went, yeah, it did. And we kind of discussed it on air and realised that actually it was horrendous. So I have no problem with the victims of sexual abuse changing their story. I got no problem with it at all. Here's the thing, right? And I kind of did a little tweet about this. I believe they call it a thread these days. 0344 499 1000. Don't worry, it won't be all about this. We had a good old laugh. Look, I know a few of you switched off last night after 10 minutes because you were bored of the Jackson stuff. Well, you missed Alex trying to get on air. You missed that. What on earth were you thinking? This is the way you've got to stay with the whole show. This is the way you've got to stay with the whole show if you don't like one bit.
I'm not bothered if they go.
No, I don't care. Neither do I, actually. If you're not prepared to make the commitment, then God damn it, what is going on? But then again, also, I'm fully aware that it's not normal for people to sit and listen to a 3-hour radio show. It's radio. You dip in and you dip out. But just to say, if you did dip out early yesterday, you missed a corking bit where Alex tried to get on air, and it's out as a podcast. And I thoroughly recommend you go and listen to that. But I did do a little thread on Twitter because the victims of... it's a really weird time, right? It's a really, really weird time. Trump is weird. Brexit is weird. And this kind of Jackson division, this denial by some to even consider the fact that he may be a child rapist. And they're so aggressively... this is a really weird time, and it's partly down to social media. It's partly down to Trump, I think, because of the fake news of it's now instilled in a lot of previously quite sensible people not to believe the mainstream media, of which we are part, of course. We are the metropolitan liberal elite. So it's a really weird time. It's also, I'm aware, a really upsetting time for people who are victims of child sexual abuse, child rape, because you go online, you go on Twitter, or you look at the comments on things, and you see a lot of very, very angry people saying that if someone is dead, it's irrelevant. And people were tweeting me today, if someone is dead, then you just need, and you think you were abused by them, you just got to suck it up. There's no point in talking about it. There are other people saying that you need evidence, you need actual evidence. If it's just your story, people were suggesting to me that I might be lying. If it's just your story, it's not good enough. We need physical evidence, and that is video. That's video recording.
Well, part of the thing tonight, and again, this might be triggering, and if it's triggering for you, then just listen away for a bit. I'm going to do something else. But there was a bit in it tonight where the allegation is that Michael Jackson attempted to penetrate one of the guys anally, right? And in the morning asked him to go and retrieve his pants because he was worried from his mum's laundry bin, because he was worried there might be blood on there. Yeah. And sure enough there was. And this kid, 14-year-old kid, went and put it in the bin in the basement. I saw a bloke online saying, oh, and the assumption that it was his blood, how did he know? Well, if it's in your pants, you're going to kind of know. I think people...
Well, hang on. Let me just say, sorry, I just want to say this. This is important, right? That you are being challenged if you are a victim of abuse. That you are being challenged. That your memories are incorrect. That you should have said something the day after it happened. That you talking about it 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years later means that it's not true. You are being questioned and doubted more so than ever before. But we need to remain strong. You need to carry on doing whatever it is that gets you through the night. Hey, listen, if suppressing it is working for you at the moment, then you keep on suppressing it. I would suggest you go and talk about it, but if it's not the right time for you to talk about it, if suppressing is what is getting you through your daily routine, then you do that. You do whatever you need to survive. I truly believe that we will pass through this period and we will come out stronger and better, but at the moment, and it will go on for a little while. The targeted attacks and the criticism of people who have been sexually abused, particularly as children, is incredible, and it must be terribly upsetting for you, and it must be making some of you doubt what you know to be true, and it must be seeing the reaction that these two gentlemen are getting in the Michael Jackson documentary must be, and if you've not come and told anyone, you must be thinking, well, shit, if they're getting that, I ain't going to tell nobody, because the guy that raped me, or the woman that raped me, that was 25 years ago, and they died. So what's the point? So just hang tough. Hang in there. We will get through this together. And if anybody wants to come and share their stories here, you are very, very welcome. You will be believed here. You will not be asked to bring in fingerprints, DNA evidence and photographs. Mm-hmm. Go on, sorry.
No, I do wonder, though, what lies beneath some of the really hateful, angry clutching of straws that's going on with some of these. Yeah. Some of them aren't even Michael Jackson fans. And it reminds me of the saying, if it's hysterical, it's historical. What is it in these people that means that they cannot acknowledge that this might have happened? I think, do you know what? I think the alt-right has got something to do with it. I think people like Prison Planet, is that his name? I think Alex Jones, I think Tommy Robinson, I think, I don't really know any kind of, I can't think off the top of my head, sorry. David Vance, that Alexander Nekrasov, Russian idiot. You know, those people that are telling us that everything we are told is a lie, and you've got to question the mainstream media, flat earthers, all of those people are responsible for this. Hey, listen, if you're a Jackson fan, I get it. This must be such a confusing time for you. You're not the most important ones here, the victims are. But if you're a Jackson fan, I get it, man. It's confusing. Someone who was the soundtrack to your life, an inspiration, someone you looked up to. I get it. And here's the thing. You don't have to stop listening to his music. You can carry on listening to his music. You might have to do it in a slightly different place. You might have to do it a little bit secretly. You will have a constant gnawing darkness in your soul. But I get it. It's to be let down. If the monkeys were exposed as paedophiles, right, I would be devastated. Because I've invested so much money, so much emotion, so much time, so much connection with my life into them. So I get it. I get why it's devastating if you are a fan of Michael Jackson to hear this, right? But you need to hear it. And you need to listen. And just because these two guys denied it 5 years ago or 10 years ago doesn't mean they're lying. Just because one of them got turned down for a book deal doesn't mean they're lying. Just because one of them didn't get a job working on a Cirque du Soleil show, it doesn't mean that they're lying. And I think you just need to kind of sit back and accept that. And also just think of the impact that you are having on, let's assume these two gentlemen are lying. Let's just assume they're lying. They deserve all the hatred they're getting. But think of the negative impact that you are having on other victims, real victims of child sexual abuse. And you are having a negative impact on them. You are, because people have told us, and because I've seen it on Twitter, and because I've seen people who've shared... Sally, regular caller to the show, shared a tweet yesterday. I won't go into detail, not my place, but she shared a very honest tweet about something that happened to her when she was younger, and I've seen her be belittled, and I've seen her be bullied, and I've seen her be mocked, and I've seen her told that she should shut up and get over it, basically. That's one example, and that's happening to people all over the world. Just think about what you're doing, Jackson fans. Also, yes, there'll be someone you know that's a survivor of abuse that probably hasn't said it to you.
Yep.
And it has an impact.
0344 499 1000. We got, I think that name is pronounced Chiara. Is that Chiara? It looks like Chiara. We got Joe, we got Kai, and we got Pablo. This is going to be some show tonight, guys. It's the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 with Iain Lee and Katherine Boyle on Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
I have to say as well, hello Marie. Catherine and I went to a funeral today. We're sounding very upbeat for a funeral because it was beautiful. Wasn't it stunning?
It was.
Many of you will know Denis from Dunstable, who, if you listen to us when we were at the BBC station, he was a regular caller there. And then he found us when we came over here, and he called him. He was the guy that we took to see 50 Shades of Grey. He was in his 88, 89, something like that. And we took him to see 50 Shades of Grey. And he would call us here. He would always have his bloody radio on. Turn your radio off, Denis, was kind of the catchphrase. He had a bit of a croaky voice, and he would phone up, and sometimes we'd argue, and sometimes I'd hang up on him, and sometimes he'd hang up on me.
But something that really came across whenever you spoke to Denis was how much he loved his wife and was immensely proud of his grandchildren, his children, and his great-grandchildren. And we had the joy of meeting them today.
We met all of them. We did. He hasn't called for a while, and this is the big mistake. This is one of my regrets, is that we kind of assumed that he died a while ago, because he didn't not call for maybe 6, 7, 8 months, something like that. And Kath and I kind of talked about it, and we sort of thought it was inappropriate to phone up, which is wrong. It would have been very appropriate to phone up, and he was still alive, and we would have gone and visited him, and we didn't, and that's to our shame. In fact, he died fairly recently, and the funeral was today, and our friend Justin, who still works at the BBC place, Scab, got in touch with Simon, who's Denis's grandson, and Simon kind of got in touch with us and invited me and Catherine and Justin and our friend Kelly Betts to the funeral today in Luton. I was given the privilege. I was the opening act. I got to go up and talk for a little bit and talk about 50 Shades of Grey.
Did you notice you were introduced as his friend?
I know. That really got me. Where is? Here we go. This is. We got a lot of Denis's family are listening. This is what I was talking about.
No, I totally disagree with sex with a robot.
And I don't remember
I know, because we were talking about sex bots.
Okay.
And do you remember whenever we talked about that, you would always come on and say, "You lot think you invented it." I don't know why you're so obsessed.
I disagree with sex with a robot.
Oh, you go. There's that. And so I got up and I told a couple of stories, and then a guy from the Masons got up because he was very into that. The guy from the Masons burned me.
I know, it was a bit of a roast.
It was the weirdest thing. He got up and basically slagged off my thing, and I'm sat there going, "Well, this is weird." Well, I was expecting a few jokes. Where were the jokes?
I think he was trying to do a joke back, but it didn't come across like that.
I sat there thinking, is that typical to slag off the opening act at a funeral? Yeah. Anyway, it made us laugh. It was a beautiful service. One of Denis's granddaughters... granddaughter. Yes, I'm trying to work out the thing because they were great grandkids. One of Denis's granddaughters got up there, and if you've ever spoken... we've got so many calls. I will come to you in a minute, I promise. If you've ever spoken at a funeral, it was easy for me because it wasn't a relative, it was someone who we had a laugh with. If you've ever spoken at a relative's funeral, that is tough. So well. That's tough standing up there.
I had to speak at my grandma's funeral, and I did a poem, and she did so much better because she told stories. Yeah. I had this poem. I couldn't start.
It catches you when you're up there.
I couldn't start it.
Catches you,
and she did so well.
And carrying in anyway, it was a thrill and an honour to meet all of Denis's family. I got to have a little chat with his missus as well. She was tired. It was an emotional day for her. Of course, it was her husband's funeral. And then we all went to a really nice boozer, where we had some food and we had some chat, and we looked at, and it turns out. And we sort of knew this a little bit, that Denis was an artist, right? He was a very skilled technical craftsman, and his job was like working on Concorde and stuff like that. And so he was very mechanically minded and could design and build stuff. But he also built stuff for his family. Now, we knew he built some rocking horses, and we got to see the rocking horses.
I had no idea it was so...
proper old school. Beautiful.
When you're told that, I made rocking horses, you think, oh, bless him. I bet it was nice. I bet he put his heart and soul into it.
No.
These are like luxury, beautiful, and he'd modified the traditional design to make it look more like a real horse. It was gorgeous.
There were ships in bottles that he made. He'd made a clock inside a bell jar. He made the clock from scratch, right? And he'd also made the best thing on that table, and boy, oh boy, I'd have paid top dollar for that, was a carving of a wooden hand, a replica of his hand with the middle finger raised. Like that. Oh, it was funny. I've tweeted the picture. I'll tweet it again a little bit later on.
His family call it the fickle finger of fate.
Yes. And so, first of all, it was the first time me, Kath and Justin and Kelly have been together. And if you didn't listen to the show, BBC, it means nothing to you. If you did, it was a big thing. First time we've been together in probably 4 years. All four of us. And so we laughed a lot, man. It was funny. Very funny. It's funny, isn't it, when you people you've not seen for ages, and you just immediately go back into those roles. Very, very funny. And Denis's family...
No, I totally disagree with Sex with a Robot.
...could not have made us feel more welcome. I was thinking, this could be a little bit awkward. Outsiders coming in. Not at all. Everyone made us feel welcome. People came up and said hello. People waved at us. Who was that lady who was filthy? There was
I think that was one of the daughters-in-law.
Absolutely filth. She was talking about... But this is a woman... I don't want to say her age, but, she was getting on a bit. She should be listening as well, as I'm saying. She was talking
the family members will know we're talking about.
She was talking about balls slapping against her thighs. Outrageous, absolutely outrageous. We had a lovely day, and we were there. And I was, they said there's going to be sandwiches. I think we'll stick around for half an hour. We were there for hours, and we loved it, and we were made to feel really welcome. And it was an honour, it was a privilege, it was a thrill to be there. It was an honour to say. People applauded after everyone said something, which I thought was because it wasn't a religious service; it was humanist service. So I guess that was kind of appropriate. Everyone made us feel welcome, and we're telling you because we know a lot of you were wanting to know what was going on with Denis, and were upset when you found out that he passed. And I just think it's important that you know that it was there was tears. Of course, there were tears. It was a funeral, but there was loads. It was like 20% tears, 80% laughter.
I tell you the bit that got me, and it was a mixture of laughter and tears.
Yeah.
I cried a bit because. If you've ever had a brilliant granddad, Denis was kind of that guy.
Yeah.
And it was the story the granddaughter told about how she'd grown up thinking that he didn't have any hair.
Yeah.
Because in his words, when you were born, I jumped for joy and I banged my head on the ceiling and it all fell out.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Brilliant.
It was beautiful.
Brilliant.
So thank you everyone for that. We had a great time. Stay in touch. It was a very special day, and we all felt honoured to be part of it. Thank you. Now, let's go to these phone calls. Sorry, everyone has been waiting for ages. How do I say your name, Maidenhead? Is it Kira?
Yeah, Kira, that's right.
Okay. How would you spell Kira, Kira?
Ceara.
See, it's close. Okay, all right, fine. Kira, you're in Maidenhead. It's Theresa May country. There's 2 second-hand video game stores there in the shopping centre. There used to be a cafe called Macari's that I went to when our cat Toby was run over. We went and had hot chocolates. It's a great place. There's a strong vibe there in that cinema. What have you got for us tonight?
I was just calling about the Leaving Neverland documentary.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Well, I actually saw, I'll call it a conversation that you had with a gentleman on Twitter.
Okay.
And I chimed in and you retweeted me.
Uh-oh.
And I was agreeing with you. And I just think it's really interesting, the amount of people that are jumping to his defence.
Yeah.
And I think it ultimately comes down to people not being able to separate the art from the abuser. I was listening to what you were saying earlier about how, you can still listen to his music if you want to, maybe not in the same situation or environment that you would normally. Me personally, I wouldn't be able to listen to his music anymore knowing what he did.
Yeah.
But listening to the documentary, it's so harrowing listening to the details. I don't understand how you could watch it and not believe them. I think it ultimately, I was thinking about it as well, have you watched the Surviving R. Kelly documentary?
Yeah, we had one of the producers of that on the show. It's, again, another really, really bleak, another bleak expose of power and corruption and sexual
But also another
crime.
example of someone who has separated the audience out into people who liked his music but can't listen to it anymore because of that, and people who've doubled down and said that it's all made up, and obviously this is the man they feel that they know, and they feel that they know better than people who are telling them otherwise,
Yeah, completely. And I really thought it was quite interesting. If you've watched both the documentaries and you listen to the details, it's really interesting how the beginning stages for both situations, like the grooming stages of both Michael Jackson and R. Kelly, how much they mirror each other.
Yeah. They groom the parents. They groom the parents as well.
Completely. I mean, not all of the women, but an awful lot of the women that R. Kelly abused were underage. They were children.
Yeah.
And it was very much all of the young girls from R. Kelly and the young boys that Michael Jackson abused, all of them were kind of promised this wonderful life. I'll help you with your career. I'll help you achieve your dreams. And they massively abused their power, you know, and I just think that we live in a culture so much where people are massively questioning victims of sexual assault and abuse, you know, and I personally think if someone comes forward and says, this is what happened to me, you should believe them. I shouldn't have to, you know, provide this evidence or anything like that to prove the awful thing that happened to someone when they start kind of poking holes in your story and that type of thing. And it completely perpetuates this idea that victims are to blame. I mean, in your own brain, you think that yourself. You don't need strangers who have no idea what happened, anything like that, forcing their opinion on it when they have no idea what it's like. And I just think it's, in terms of Michael Jackson, I mean, the original accusations that came to light, it was in 1993, that the boy called Geordie.
Geordie Chandler, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't alive then, so I don't know kind of what it was like in terms of it being sensationalised in the media or anything like that. I can obviously
It was big. It was a big old... It was a... Was that the trial or was it the next trial where at the end, when he was found innocent, they released doves outside? Do you remember that?
I do remember
There was one of... I think he's had 2 trials, and at one of them, either a fan or his PR, once he came out and found not guilty, they released a load of doves into the street. It was nuts. It was a circus, Kira.
No, that's what I mean. I can completely imagine it. And even then, you're telling me, and that doesn't even slightly surprise me. Yeah. Like, how on earth you could attach the connotations of celebration around something like that is absolutely mind-boggling. Yeah. You know, but the fact that it happened, I mean, I think in terms of, like, you know, like the Time's Up, Me Too movement, these types of issues have massively kind of shifted into the limelight now, which I think is only a good thing, to shift the focus onto the victims and, you know, hold people accountable. But back then, it wasn't it was still incredibly, I mean, it's still taboo now, but it was incredibly taboo back then and not really spoken about. No. And a lot of people say he wasn't convicted, he didn't go to prison, he was innocent. No, he settled out of court. He was worth millions and millions, you know. Oh, no,
Kira, no. He settled out of court, not because he was guilty. He just didn't want the hassle of it. That's what it was.
He was badly advised.
He was badly advised, and he just didn't want the hassle of it, Kira. No. It's not because he was guilty. It's because he just thought, I'll pay £23 million because I'm not guilty. That's the argument that everyone's coming out with. He was badly advised, and he just didn't want to deal with it, so he just paid them. It's all bullshit. Kira, listen, thank you very much indeed. I'm going to move on because I've got to sort out an idiot. I mentioned, people are so thick. I mentioned right-wing gobshites that have caused people to not believe the mainstream media. One of them was David Vance. David Vance has tweeted me.
I saw.
Let me read it out. I mean, this guy's so thick. So, David, I'll spell it out for you, mate, OK? Because you're obviously a little bit harder thinking. But bear in mind, I am being paid by George Soros, and I am the mainstream media. It's MM, not MSM, because mainstream is one word. So everything I'm about to say is a lie. OK, mate? So David Vance, who's a nasty piece of work, has tweeted me, Iain, hi, Iain, can you please explain why you reference me as someone who wants others not to believe the victims of Michael Jackson? I have never made any comment on this, so please back up your comment or withdraw it. Well, first things first, David, is I didn't say that. So if in any way I gave the impression that I thought you, you want others not to believe the victims of Michael Jackson, I apologise, except I know that I didn't say that. What I said was that people like you and Prison Planet and Tommy Robinson, stuff like that, you have caused people... By the way, this is the only time you get a mention on my radio show, because you're going to get blocked in a second, buddy, because I think that what you do is... I just think you guys are the worst, right? So this isn't what this show is about. This show is about peace and love. It's not about arseholes like you, right? What you people do is you get people to not believe everything they're told on the TV, so they don't believe. And by the way, it's great to question stuff, right? But what you say is quite dangerous. I called you a racist, right? And I'll tell you why I called you a racist, because I saw something you tweeted earlier on. Really horrible. I mean, he's going on about how it's okay to say coloured and all of that. Okay, all right, that's fair enough. All right, you want to do that.
Just checking, he's a white man, right?
He's a white guy.
Okay,
yeah.
So he gets to decide.
Yeah, but here's the story story. Here's the tweet. Really nasty story. It's not been huge over here, but it's about 2 white South African farmers who killed a kid. Right, killed a kid because the kid was stealing from them, and these 2 white farmers killed him. Right, and they've been sentenced to a combined 41 years in prison for killing a black teenager in South Africa. And so David Vance has retweeted the story, and his comment is, "At last, South Africa moves to protect white farmers. Oh, hang on, they're putting them in jail for 41 years. Yeah, David, because they killed a black kid." All right, David, that's the only time you ever get a mention on this show. I hope you understand exactly what was said. I am just going to block you. Thanks very much indeed. Let's go to Joseph. Good evening, Joseph. Kai, you're going to be next. Good evening, Joseph.
Hello. Hi, hello.
Hello, Joseph.
Hello. Basically, I said I was defending Michael Jackson, but I didn't want to say, like, oh, I'm definitely defending him. You know what I'm trying to say? Because only Lord knows. You know what I'm trying to say? But,
well, no, no. What did you say? It's a bit muffled. I can't hear what you're saying. Did you just say only the Lord knows?
No, because basically I'm getting to a point.
Well, no, hang on. I didn't hear what you said, Joseph. Did you say only the Lord knows?
Yeah, because...
Well, that's not true, because the people he raped knows as well. Yeah, but carry on.
Okay. All right, then. Okay. Basically, it seems like you've got a lot of passion, and that's good. Plus, you've got a platform. That's better. And you're saying you suffered child abuse. Okay, I understand that. So, for that, I understand that same passion that you're saying that you're giving to Michael Jackson, a man that's dead. I understand. Don't you think there's been a lot of abuse that's happened in England that you should be, dealing with, yeah? And I mean in your establishment. I mean from the, the top white people that get away with it. I mean, and I'm being serious with it. You know these top white guys, yeah?
Well, I don't know these top white guys. Don't mention any names. Listen, I told you not to mention any names, so don't mention any names because that's libel, right? But it's libel. It's libel because you're saying stuff that we can't prove either way. Yeah. Here's the thing.
Okay. What about Michael Jackson? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Look, I'm just trying to say, look, you already proved it there. We've been... Joseph,
calm down. Calm down. Joseph, calm down. You're right. I'm a racist, and it's only because he was black that I'm interested in exposing Michael Jackson as a paedophile. You got me. Yeah, you got me. I'm a racist. You got me. No, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about the white paedophiles. Why would I?
No, I'm just saying, what in your country?
Why would I care about the paedophiles in this country? Why would I be bothered?
Why not use it? Stop claiming victim and say, oh...
claiming the victim. All right, Joseph. Here's the thing. Unlike you, I'm not thick. So I can be angry about more than one thing at a time, okay? I can be angry about the abuse that Michael Jackson dealt out, the rape. I'm downplaying it. The rape that Michael Jackson committed. I can also be angry about the rape that white British people commit as well. If you want me to, but I can be angry about both. I can be angry about the white. Hey, you know the guy that abused me? He was white.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so am I playing? A lot of them are white, a lot of them are brown, a lot of them are all different kinds of colours.
I've been to prison. Trust me, mate. Trust me. Yeah, you can ask every prisoner, yeah, a lot of the majority. You could listen. You want to check out the statistics? Google it if you want.
No, I'm not going to, Joseph. What were you in prison for?
What was I in prison for? I was a young little bad boy, and now I'm growing up.
So what were you in prison?
Selling a bit of ganja, mate. Selling a bit of weed, bro. I was a bad little
How long did you go to prison for selling weed?
I did 1 year.
And how old were you?
How old was I? I was 18.
Okay. First of all, I don't believe you. Secondly, there are paedophiles of all colours, yeah.
High down prison. Go and check. Listen, high down prison. You don't believe me, yeah? High down prison. I've been there, bro.
Okay, great. That's great. That's good for you. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yeah, there are a lot of white paedophiles. There's a lot of... Yeah, I know there are. I don't know what do you want me to say? This isn't news, Joseph. This isn't news.
No, okay. And then why do you lot always say, oh, they're vigilantes, those paedophile catchers, good on them. I'm glad they go.
What is this guy talking about? Joseph.
And why do
Joseph, have a conversation, mate. Just calm down, dude. Have a conversation. You're obviously very upset. Maybe you should go back to the ganja. I don't know, because you seem highly strung. Right, so just calm down. Okay. Have a conversation with me, man.
Okay, sorry.
We've never...
The same passion you've got, sorry.
No, it's not. It's not, because yours is wildly unfocused and inaccurate, right? But okay, we've not mentioned the paedophile hunters on this show. I think you're lumping together. Let me finish, and then you can come in. I think you're lumping together all phone-in radio with this show. I don't think we've ever mentioned the paedophile hunters on this show.
No, I was trying to say, why don't you lot, everyone that's talking about this on this platform, guide their passion to something that's in this country that's happening right now?
Because I'm a world citizen. I'm a world citizen, and I can be concerned. Michael Jackson.
Let's do a petition for bigger sentences, and I'm down for it. And I'm sure you should be down for it as a survivor. They should get the biggest punishment.
I call myself a victim. I'd like to call myself. I refer to myself as a victim of child abuse. Yes, some people like to call themselves survivors. It's semantics, but it's important to the person who's involved that they choose their own title. Of course, it is. Yeah, you go and start. What is this guy on about? Go and start a petition if you want. I don't care. Go and do what you want, mate.
I know. I hear what you're saying, but I'm just saying.
No, you don't. You don't hear what I'm saying, because I don't. Yeah, okay.
Is that not fair?
Is what not fair? Is what not fair, Joseph?
Let's look closer to home. Let's use this energy that we're using right now.
I'm going to look. I'm going to look all over the world, and when it's one of the biggest celebrities in the world that certainly came to this country, I'm going to look at it. So no, please don't tell me where to direct my attention. But thanks for the suggestions. I really appreciate it.
All right, then you see, just there, yeah, you know, the listeners will already know where you lot are heading. That's it, like where you lot's platform is, you know, because like
I wish you'd explain it, because I've got no idea what you're talking about.
However you want to look at it, yeah. I see some real facts. Yeah, however you want to look at it, however you want to judge me.
Give us a fact. Give us a fact, because I don't know what you're talking about. You're rambling, man. Give us a fact.
Well, I can say to you, yeah, let's just do this as a famous thing right now, just to get you famous. Let's go and check out these prisons, yeah? Let's set a date, yeah? Let's try to get this. Let's go and check out and go see these prisons.
Why would I want to go to prison with you?
Let's go and see who these nonces are, bro.
I don't want to go to a prison with you. I don't want to go and meet some nonces.
No.
Why would I want to go and meet nonces with this guy?
Let's change this world. Is this not a platform that you're using about not changing the world, is it? Or just about talk about things and just...
Yes, it's a talk show. It's talk about things. Yes, I don't want to go... Joseph, just to clarify, I don't want to go to prison to meet nonces with you.
No, I'm trying to show you my facts, my statistics. That's on the internet. You can go
statistics have numbers. Give us a number.
Yeah?
Give us a number.
In England, yeah, who the nonces are, bro, yeah, and who the real nonces are, and why the establishment...
Oh, well, there's like we're playing nonce top trumps. Okay, right. Okay, Joseph. All right. Okay, thanks so much for your call, mate. Next time, try and have a clue what you're talking about and really focus it in there, Joseph. Thank you very much indeed.
Just a production point.
Do you want to go and meet nonces in prison with Joseph?
I'm fine.
I can arrange it.
I'm fine for that. Production point. This just illustrates the fact that if Ian's talking and you're talking at the same time as a caller,
yes.
Your mic gets cut out because it's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Also, this country is still majority white, so nonces come in all shapes and sizes and colours. So I don't think we should be surprised that prisons in this country are have a lot of white nonces. So
if anyone wants to go to prison to meet nonces with Joseph, I guess that offer is open. I don't know. Kai, we'll cut your next. Then it's Pablo. 03. What is going on? I've got Vance after me. I got man alive. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Everybody's coming out of the woodwork tonight. Oh, man, let's go to Kai. Good evening, Kai.
Hello. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I suspect it won't be for very long, Kai. Could you come off speakerphone, please, mate?
Oh, can you hear me better now?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I would love to speak about Michael Jackson and documentary and everything.
I suspected you might. Go on.
Yeah, basically, something's happened to me, and I can understand all aspects of what's happened, like what people's views are.
Go on. Well, tell us as much as you want, and you don't, if there's stuff you don't want to share, then of course you don't have to share it.
Okay, it wasn't as bad as the alleged penetration, but basically, I'm gay myself, and basically, I'm in an open relationship, and me and this guy, basically, he forced a kiss. Like, I was consensual at first.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, do you know much about autism?
I know bits and pieces, but I'm always keen to learn more.
Yeah, basically, sometimes I find it hard to speak, and basically, like body language when you're like flirting with someone.
Yeah.
We like gave both positive body language, saying we consent. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
And basically, we learned to kiss, and then because he was a bigger guy than me, he hold tighted onto me.
Yeah.
And I tried pulling away, but he kept like kissing me.
Okay. And you didn't want to be kissed at that point.
Yeah, and like it was a big pull, so he could tell, but he carried on. And basically, this is like first time I spoke to my friend about it, and she's the only person who really knows. So I can understand about why people might want to speak about it later, because like it stays into you, if you know what I mean. Like, you overthink sometimes.
Yeah, of course. Now, there will be some people, Kai, listening, going, well, hey, listen, it was just a kiss. But, I understand, I get that if you are forced to do something, that against your will, that is making you uncomfortable, that you are actively pulling away from, that you do not want to be part of, then it can create all kinds of confusion. It can create all kinds of negative feelings like shame or guilt or all kinds of things. So I get what you're saying. Can I ask, Kai, how long ago this was? And no, in fact, that's irrelevant, that question. Scratch that. How are you feeling about it now?
Well, to be honest, I feel like, I don't know, like, I think, like, this show today is good to, like, speak out about it, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like people think, when it's happened, they think, I need to be quiet about it, but honestly, and, like the victims of the Michael Jackson allegation should speak out about it, so if it ever happens to anyone else, they should know. They should not be ashamed. They should speak out about it.
Listen, anyone who's feeling shame because of something that's been done to them, that shame isn't theirs. That belongs to the person who did it to them. People should speak out if they want, and if people don't want to speak out, they shouldn't. I would never tell someone how they should feel or what they should be doing. But I appreciate that it was important for you to speak out, Kai, and I'm really grateful that you did. And so thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. And can I just say one more thing, sorry?
Yeah, go on.
And a part of why I haven't really told, like, my mum or anything is because, like you said, some people want evidence, and at the time when it happened, there was no evidence, if you see what I mean.
You mean you didn't get your phone out to film it, Kai? And, of course, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Most of this stuff, there is no evidence. It's your word against someone else's word, and I think the backlash that is happening because of this Neverland film will scare, the demand for hard evidence will scare some people and stop some people from coming forward and sharing their stories, But your truth, Kai. You know what happened, and you have to cling on to that. That's your story, and that is your truth, and you need to own it, man. And I'm really glad you shared it with us, Kai. Thanks very much for your call.
Thank you for having me on.
No, it's a pleasure, man. Thank you very much indeed. Here we go. I knew there'd be trouble. It's Denis's grandson Simon is on.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. What did we do wrong? Did we not pay a bill or something, Simon? What's going on?
Well, I'm not quite sure. I don't want to detract from what's actually really going on in the background. Sorry, is that my radio that's still playing?
Turn that bloody radio off!
Do you not get that? Did you not get that?
Yeah, for God's sake. I'm surprised you're still standing, because you were half cut when we left.
Well, it's Brookses. We've got a bit of longevity in front of us.
Hang on a minute. Let's have a word. Hang on, just listen. Let's have a word from the big man himself.
No, I totally disagree with sex with a robot.
There you go. He disagrees with sex with a robot. It's a genuine thing.
I absolutely agree with my granddad, because sex with robots is, it shouldn't be done, should it, by any means?
Some of them are fit. I don't know if you've seen the new generation, the sex bot. I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Again.
Again. Get away from you. You've got a real serious conversation going on, and I really appreciate you putting me on. Because I know there's
of course, we're going to put you on. We were
tearing their hearts out.
We were banging on about Denis earlier on. I hope you heard. About 10:20, we were recounting the funeral. How is everyone after today? It was a really beautiful day today, Simon. So thanks again for inviting us.
Listen. It was really beautiful because you guys came. It really was.
Well,
and I appreciate all you guys coming and sharing your anecdotes with us. because we really did enjoy that today.
Oh, wicked. Good.
And I've learned stuff about my granddad that I never knew before, and there was other family members that also learned stuff about fathers, grandfathers,
Yeah.
and friends, which was really good for all of us. So it was really good to have you guys there.
I had a lovely chat with your gran as well just before we left. I didn't want to bother her too much because she must have been tired. But I went and had a little hello to her, and I explained who I was, and she said, "Oh, you're the guy that spoke at the start." I said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, you work in radio?" And I said, "Yeah, but I'm a bit of an idiot." And she said, "Well, if you're an idiot, why are you still working?" Good point. I said, "They've not found me out yet, but they will." They will at some point, but she was delightful, and she looked a bit tired, but she.
Did she tell you, Ian? Did she tell you a joke?
No, go on. Is it filthy? Because who was talking?
It's not filthy. It's not filthy. But she spoke about this person that had a job.
Yeah.
They were going to the tax, as people do, go to the tax return and sort of saying, they were asking, what is your job description?
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, I'm a whore. I'm a whore."
Oh my God!
Said, no, that's not possible. You can't do that. You need to give us another job title. She said, "Okay." This person said, "Okay, fine. I'm a prostitute."
Right.
I said, "No, that's not possible. We can't do that."
We're going to have to ban another member of the Brooks family. This is outrageous.
Almost. Let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. And bless her, my nan.
Yeah.
She's elderly, but she was on it, just like my granddad.
Yeah.
And she said, "Okay, well, I'm a chicken farmer." She said, "Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we can put that down as chicken farmer."
Yeah.
She said, "Well,
here we go.
I've been raising
you can't.
all day." She said,
Okay. Well, your family is outrageous. Who was the lady I was talking to?
The golf club lady.
The golf club lady.
Yes. Can I say she's my? I can't say because
she's filth.
She's great fun.
She was filth. She was talking about balls slapping against her thigh. She actually was.
She's a golfer, so teeing it up and doing all that sort of stuff, all those innuendos.
There you go.
I shouldn't have said it. No, Auntie's very, very good at innuendo.
Listen, Simon, your family, if I'm honest, the four of us were a little bit, walking into a funeral where no one knew us. We felt, everyone made us feel so welcome. Everyone was happy to come and chat to us and tell us stories and listen to our stories. And honestly, mate, this is no exaggeration. All four of us were, we had a laugh because we hadn't seen each other for a while, but we were so honoured to be part of that day. It's a really special day, and your granddad was a very special man.
Hopefully you guys left us family, because that's how it was. We're all there together, and that's how it feels. You're all there together, sharing a common experience, and together we all had a good laugh. And again, you guys, you had something other than that, and it was all brought together with Denis. So we're thankful for him. So that's the only reason I'm phoning. And, and just to say again how nice it was to meet you guys.
Simon, can I do something that I thought I'd never get to do? Can I cut? Can I cut a Brooks off? There we go, done it. Yes! Dennis will be laughing at that. Thank you, Simon, and thank you. Honestly, it was, and I know a lot of you were familiar with Dennis's work. It was a really special day, and if you, of course there were some tears and stuff, but we were just giggling at the back like kids, and funerals that's what a funeral should be: a few tears, a bit of memories by Barbra Streisand, and then a lot of laughs and a lot of sharing stories.
The stories were the thing. You got a real sense of the man, and what a man.
Pablo, stay there. Sorry, we'll come. You'll be the first call up after the news. 0344 499 1000. We've rattled through the first hour of the show. We've got plenty more to go. We've not even looked into the newspapers yet. The guy that invented the calculator has died. It's not a joke, is it?
Oh, right, I was waiting for the punchline.
No. It is. I mean, I'll think of one. There will be one, but it's true. This is the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 with Iain and Katherine on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Hello?
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine. I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading
That's enough of that. This is the state of some of the arseholes that listen to this radio station. There you go. There's some of the advertising gone out the window. I see all the tweets, right, on my screen, not on my computer. My computer is here, and I have that on my Twitter sometimes. But I have a screen where I see the phone calls and I see the texts and the tweets for Talk Radio, right? And that whole story about... was it Amber Rudd called Diane Abbott coloured? Was it Amber Rudd? Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Now, coloured is a lazy, at best, and this is me being generous, is a lazy, old-fashioned, outdated term. At worst, it's actually quite offensive and racist. Right? It is. Right. And so it's obviously been a big story. I missed it until we started the show. Can I just underline that she used to be the Minister for Women and Equalities? There you go. You see. All right. That kind of makes it worse. So I've seen someone, Joe Cottingham, has retweeted a tweet by Mike Fuller, right, and it's popped up, right, and it's the original tweet is to Talk Radio, right? It's to Talk Radio. Let me I can see the conversation here. Yeah, so the Talk Radio have tweeted Amber Rudd calls Diane Abbott coloured during interview, and Mike Fuller has replied to Talk Radio, so he's a listener to this radio station. I bet you ain't a listener to this show. And Joe Cottingham has retweeted it, which is why I saw it. He tweeted it at 8 minutes past 6. About Diane Abbott. Well, if she isn't white, she must be bloody coloured. Ridiculous nonsense. If they keep changing their mind what they want to be called, how is anybody supposed to keep up with it? That's a listener to this radio station. Wow, a radio station that I'm really, really proud to work for. Really, really proud to be part of. But are we really courting listeners like that? I mean, really? Oh, racist like Mike? It breaks my heart. You know what it means, Kath? It means we got to work harder. It means you and me have got to work harder. And now I've got all of David Vance's people coming to me. Iain Lee turns out to be one of those whiny toss pieces who blurts out racist, bigot or Nazi. Very rarely. I don't call people Nazi. Unlike David Vance's mate John. People when he's asked to defend an utterly indefensible position. Imagine my surprise. No, he was racist. I'm getting involved with these people! Someone called Patriotic UK.
I'm guessing that's not his given name.
Oh, God. Do you see, dear listener, how easy it is to be sucked into this stuff? These people, these right-wing amen, they thrive on lies. Because the guy whose name I'm not going to mention again is lying about me on his Twitter feed. I blocked him. He's lying about me. They thrive on lies, they thrive on confusion, they thrive on telling people like Patriotic UK, people who aren't very bright, stuff that will get them angry. And people like Patriotic UK want to be angry. They want to be angry with blacks and Muslims and people who are different and Europe and the liberal elite, me, the mainstream media. They want to be angry with me. Hey, listen, man, if it makes your life feel better, then be angry with me. Try and stick to the facts. But if the facts are too much for you, then that's cool, man. That's cool. Right, 03444. Let's not get dragged down to their level. Let's try and bring them up to ours. 03444 499 1000 is the phone number. Good evening, Pablo.
Hip, 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 howdy.
Yeah, here we go. What do you got for us?
One is kind of a personal viewpoint. One is an important point to make, and another one is just a bit of information.
Just tell him, Pablo. Just do it.
Okay, sorry. I feel sometimes to list it, but one. I know a lot of this whole kind of Michael Jackson thing. A lot of the kind of defenders of the Michael Jackson estate are very much focused on the fact that people are trying to do something to make money.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to have pointed out the fact that the Michael Jackson estate, keeping Michael Jackson clear and above standards, they're the ones who are going to be making money if they continue with this.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly a one-way street in that regard. But I was saying on an important point from what you were talking about is for our work in an industry where sometimes we do have to deal with people communicating like abuse and things like this. And it's just communicate to people out there that obviously if somebody is a victim of abuse or is feeling that, it may feel very negative at the moment and the kind of court of public opinion.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you do have like a social worker or a support worker or anybody like that who works in your life, then those people are trained specifically to just take on board everything you're hearing without casting judgment, without taking or putting any words in your mouth or anything. They'll just take everything as it is and believe you as is intended.
Yep. These are dark days, man. These are dark days. And trust me to come back onto Twitter just as it gets even darker than it was before. This Jackson stuff is insane. And I was tweeting last night after the show that I find the defence of Jackson fascinating by the fans. I find it fascinating. And some people kind of pulled me up on that and said, well, that's disrespectful to victims of abuse. I don't think it is. It isn't. I just genuinely find this it's very aggressive, very angry. Quite often, not all of it, it's rude and belittling and accusatory of other people. I find it fascinating. There's no other word for it. As a someone who likes to study human behaviour, it's really interesting.
Well, I think on a sociological point, it's interesting because I think a lot of these people who are very quick to go, oh, it's Michael Jackson, he's a brilliant pop star, he couldn't have done anything wrong. They're the exact same kind of people who go, I don't want any pedos in my town, I don't want any of this, I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
But as soon as it's somebody who's in their mind untouchable because they've done some stuff, and like you said last night, or I think it might be the night before, it's like if it was Iain the greengrocer or whatever, there would be a lot of questions about, hang on, that fella down the road slept with about 3 different kids in his bed. Yeah. I don't know if anything happened. Obviously, I wasn't there, but that would be enough for the police to come a knocking and kind of put him on a list somewhere. Whereas, if you've got...
no, because Jackson was a child in a man's body. That's why it was okay for him as a 45-year-old man to sleep in bed
man in a child's body. That was the problem.
with 8-year-old kids. That's why it was acceptable. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Well, I will say, obviously, the area I work with like adults with learning disabilities, and I will say that whether you're what would be deemed as a man in like a child in a man's body or not, the laws are the same. There's no change in that. You will still go to a secure unit or a prison if you commit a crime. You'll go to a forensic unit or whatever. And the one thing that I know from experience is that there's people who've been accused of a lot less who have ended up going to prison or a secure unit for a long time in comparison to, say, Michael Jackson, who managed to, completely walk away from things but equally be able to pay several £1 million to people to make sure that he was innocent, which is obviously not my part to say.
I just find it very interesting that some people's default is you're stupid for believing someone, and that their default is to attack rather than to listen.
Well, that's it. I know. Whatever people will say about what did or didn't happen, there are some things that are a matter of record. And I know people who I work with who have ended up in a secure unit for not taking the medicine and flashing somebody on the street, and they've ended up with like 18 months in a secure unit for that without any sexual intent. They were just kind of having a difficulty mentally at the time. But somebody can take a bunch of kids into the house and make them drink wine from a can and call it Jesus juice, which is a matter of record, and that's all right. But whether he touched them or not, we can't prove that, so therefore it's we've got to keep him pristine. At the end of the day, like you say, Gary Glitter or whoever, you can like the music, but it doesn't mean... Yeah. I'm a big fan of Roman Polanski's early work, but it doesn't mean that what he did was right.
No. All right, listen, Pablo, thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Let's go to Sally. Good evening, Sally.
Hello.
How are you doing? You've had a load of crap on online today, all because you decided to share. Thank you for sharing it. I didn't want to draw too much attention to it by wading in, but thank you for sharing that. You shared something very personal and very intimate about what happened to you when you were very young, and I just saw you getting some support. Of course, let's acknowledge that. And I saw you getting a load of shit. And I'm there scratching my head.
I can't get my head around it. What do these people expect, right? I went to court 2014. So it would have been... I was about 3. Well, my first memory, I was about 3.
Yeah.
When the abuse started. Obviously, it could have happened before then. I don't know what sort of evidence I'm supposed to have come up with.
No, I can tell you, Sally, you're meant to have video recordings of it. You're meant to have every incident logged in a diary, photographs and audio recordings. That was what, I mean, that was with Suleiman, who we spoke to yesterday, who's now just starting to get a little bit upset on Twitter, which is fine.
Yes,
which is fine. He's very welcome to call back in. But Suleiman wanted video an audio recording. Here's the question I didn't ask him, and I did want to. I asked it on Twitter, and no one replied. What's the tipping point? Because I've been every time someone said, "Well, he's dead, you should leave it." I've just gone back with Savile, and a few people have said, but with Savile there were hundreds of people that came forward. So I want to know what is the tipping point? What number of people coming forward claiming Jackson raped them? Would you start believing? Is it 10? Is it 50? Is it 200? Again, I suspect if 250 people came forward, Jackson fans would go, but they're just doing it for the money. I don't think they would buy it.
The other thing is, though, if you're dealing with someone as rich as Jackson was, is everyone doing it for the money? I mean, that seems like the ultimate comeback for them. They're all after the money. Well. Yeah, they were... All right, so you can't be abused by a rich person then, because obviously you're in it for the money. I don't get it.
Yeah. But I made the point that, yes, so what, maybe they will get some money out of this.
Good.
And what's the problem with that? I said, therapists cost money. Some people can't work because of the trauma that they go through. They need to pay the bills.
Here we go.
Not everyone wants to go to court and have it dragged out in public.
This is what we're dealing with, right? So I did a little thread earlier on about abuse and stuff, and it says here's one of the tweets. This is from me. If you've ever been sexually abused at any age, these are really toxic times for you. We're being challenged like never before to show evidence that it happened. You are seeing people being accused of lying, of doing it for money, for revenge, whatever reasons. Then it goes on. Here's a reply from someone called Grant Beale. Nah, just come out and say it while they're alive instead of waiting 10 years and making yourself look stupid by claiming it happened. And do you know what, Grant? I'm really pleased that you don't know what it's like. That's great. That's a great thing. You don't know what it's like because it hasn't happened to you, and that is brilliant, and that is beautiful, and that is I'm genuinely pleased. What happened to me was minor compared to a lot of people, but I know the shame, the guilt, it was my fault. I shouldn't have done it. It was someone in authority. I couldn't tell my mum and dad. I didn't tell anyone until bloke was dead.
The top and bottom of it is what happened to you shouldn't have happened to you. Yeah. What happened to Sally shouldn't have happened to Sally. Yeah. You don't wish there shouldn't be degrees of this is the moment at which I have a responsibility to speak up. It's down to the person who's gone through it to decide when and if the time is right.
Yeah. There is no right or wrong. It's how you... It's whatever you got to do to be able to survive another day.
Yeah. I mean, right. So it started for me when I was about 3 and it ended sort of when I was like 8 or 9. It sort of tallied in with when I started learning about sex education at school. When I think back at it and the sort of time and I didn't tell my mum till I was 14. I got very, very drunk with some friends and came home and blurted it out to my mum. My mum never believed me for 20 years until my aunts, my dad's sisters came forward. And suddenly, my mum, was hugging me and all that. But to her, I was the other woman. She actually called me that once. There was a time I used to go to counselling when I was sort of 14. My mum thought I was making it up and she thought I needed counselling to see what was going on there. So I went to counselling and I was offered a chance to take my dad to court. Then I sat and thought about it and I couldn't. I just couldn't. My dad was extremely violent. It wasn't just sexual abuse, it was physical abuse. He used to send threatening letters. He used to send ambulance and police around to our house, saying that a woman had been beaten with a hammer. He was sick, just awful things. So I decided not to do it until I was 33, and I found out my aunts had gone through the same thing. And even when I took it to court, I found out things about my dad and about his past and the fact that he had been abused himself. He moved down to London from Liverpool when he was about 14 or 15, and to make ends meet became a rent boy. And during the 18 months from reporting it to actually going to trial, I sat there and I thought about whether or not it was the right thing for me to do, you know, because he had, you know, no matter how much I hated him and the things that he had done to me, he was also a victim. And I thought, you know, I would think to myself, should I do this? You know, what is the best thing to do? People just don't seem to realise that, especially my abuser was my dad, and the relationship that you have with your abuser, people don't understand that. You can love them and you can stand up for them and deny things, and
that's the thing.
And also, they don't seem to get that. They don't understand that this is a relationship. It's sick, but it is a relationship.
No, you said the interesting thing there is that a lot of people won't understand that, and it certainly wasn't my case because it was different. But the person who is molested or raped or abused or whatever you want to call it can often and is often in love with the person that does it, and that's what you get from watching. It's one of the things I got from watching these two men on the Neverland thing is that the love that they certainly had. I don't know if they still have it, but the love that they certainly had for Michael Jackson, and that is that some people go, well, hang on. Well, but if you're getting raped, you can't love someone, so you must have been either up for it or it never happened. Or it's a confusing mental and there are confusing physical things that happen. I was saying yesterday, and I get flack for this when I mention this, but sometimes when little boys are sexually abused, they think they're enjoying it because they get an erection. You know, if someone's stimulating your penis, you're probably going to get an erection, and so you get these 8-year-old boys that are going, well, but it must have been my fault because I must have liked it because I had an erection. No, it's a physical reaction, and people don't understand that it's so complex, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's your first sexual experience.
Yeah,
and you know that has its own emotional, thing on you. But, you know, I've spoken to victims of abuse who openly admit there's one woman that I talked to called Sue, who, you know, openly admits that she did enjoy some of the abuse that she climaxed during some of the abuse that she had, and that confused her, and she had to deal with that. And, you know, was she allowing it, and was she, I don't know, but
the thing is, it's this, that's what they thrive from, because they are the person that you most trust. You know, in many cases, that they're the only person that you do this with, and you don't know any different. But they do know different. That's the thing. They do know what they're doing is wrong.
So it's like that tweet from a gentleman who didn't realise. I know you saw it. A gentleman who didn't realise that he had been abused.
Oh God! Did you see that one, Catherine? This was
I did.
The incredible guy who's saying that when he was 14, an older woman, I think in her 20s, would invite him round to a house, give him weed, and they'd have sex. And he said, "Was that abuse?" He said, "I felt, or I feel, I can't quite remember, ashamed and confused, and it's had an impact." Was that abuse? And I went, "Yeah. She gave you drugs, and she raped you because you're 14. Yeah. That's abuse." And the thing is, as well, it's different when it's because we always assume it's a bloke that's doing the abuse, and I think statistically it generally is, but women do also commit sexual abuse, and people, you know, when you're 14, when you're a 14-year-old lad and you're kind of horny all the time, the thought of a woman in her 20s, 30s, 40s seducing you it's quite a turn on. It's quite a turn on. And as a 14, 15-year-old lad, you know, it's a bit of a fantasy. Of course it is for a lot of people. But looking at it through the eyes of an adult at 14, if a woman in her 20s or 30s had given me drugs and got me stoned, I would probably have felt that I loved it at the time. But looking back, that's rape. That's abuse, because I would have been too young to have realised exactly what was going on, realised I was being taken advantage of. What I'm trying to say is that some people would look at that from the outside and go, well, that's surely every young man's fantasy. It doesn't matter whether it is or not. It's rape. It's taking advantage. It's power. It's power in imbalance that's being abused.
Yeah. I remember having a conversation. The other thing that really annoys me about these people, I had a conversation with the police officer that was dealing with my case, and I asked her about conviction rates and things like that. And she said to me that this was in 2014, so it's probably sort of 2010. She said that conviction rate was 10% of complaints went to the CPS, 10% of those complaints went to court, and only 6% of those actually ended in conviction.
I've heard something
similar. I worked that out as that means that according to these people, that 99.94% of people are lying out of 100. You know, oh, well, he's not convicted. They're not convicted. He doesn't go to court. Oh, you must be lying.
You're making it up. You're an attention seeker. You're a money grabber. You're whatever. Harry is saying, Ian, my thoughts go out to Sally, but can we please all club together and buy her a new battery for that smoke alarm? Thank you, Harry. Hey, listen, Sally, I really appreciate what you shared on Twitter, and I appreciate you calling in.
Right.
Here's the sad thing, though. It's not going to change anyone's mind. It's not going to change their minds, you know. And
it won't. Those people, but there might be someone listening.
Oh no. It's important to get it out. Well, it's important to get it out completely. Yeah. But it's not going to change their minds. Hey, Sally, thanks very much. Take care.
Okay,
see you later on. Tatty bye. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You'd be very, very welcome to. The switchboard is empty for the first time. Don't worry, dear listener, clunky gear changes are plenty. We can go from the heavy, we can go to the light. I have to say, we've only got 3 tickets left for the Manchester show that Catherine and I are doing on the 18th of May at the 3 Minute Theatre. It's a lovely little venue. We've got Amanda as our opening act. Do you not remember?
Yes.
Is it Amanda? I think it's Amanda. Amanda's coming. She's going to send me some backing tracks. I've been messaging her. She's going to send me some backing tracks. She's going to do a couple of songs. I might do a little duet with her. I just don't know.
Oh, right.
Well,
right.
I might host the rabbit hole with her. I just don't know how it's going to go. We're going to ride the vibe, Catherine. So, you know, just you sit at the back, and if I need you, I'll give you a call. 3 tickets left for that. That's in May. If I did say if we sell out the show this week, we'll see if we'll look into putting something on the Sunday. So this is a Saturday. So iainlee.com/event. Glasgow in June. In June this is. That's like April, May, just 3 months away. There's only 20 tickets left. So again, if we sell out Glasgow by the end of March, then we'll look at maybe putting something on the Sunday, something a little bit different perhaps as well. So that's there, and I think there's like 10 tickets left for Brighton, which is in April, and then we've got London and we've got Shaftesbury and all that, but they're ages and ages away. So iainlee.com/event, IAINLEE.com/event is the place to go if you want to get those tickets. The last 3 tickets. The last 3 tickets for Manchester. That's what you need. Don't know why I'm whispering. What you got for us, Boyley?
Oh, so many things.
That means nothing in front of her at the moment.
Seriously.
That's her stalling. That's her stalling line.
Do you want a clunky gear change?
Yes,
do you want to annoy someone different?
I want a clunky gear change.
All right, here we go.
Clunky, gear change.
First Moomin theme park is about to open.
I hate the Moomins, if I'm completely
They're creepy,
honest.
aren't they?
Yeah, boring. A lot of those Scandinavian stories. I did like Pippi Longstocking.
Yes.
Pippi Longstocking's thing, I think it was Pippi Longstocking, if I got this right, and I tried it, and I'm surprised I didn't die, was she would sleep in her bed upside down.
Uh-huh.
She would sleep.
She had no mum and dad.
She would sleep. All right, loads of kids that don't have mums and dads.
No,
they
but she
still
lived
don't
on
use the beds.
completely on her own.
But so she would sleep. I've been to the Pippi Longstocking Museum. So please don't try.
What was the monkey called?
Lars.
No.
It doesn't matter. I've been to the museum. What was
and
it
you
called?
learnt nothing.
Oh, I learnt it was boring. She would sleep with her head under the duvet and her feet sticking out.
Oh, I used to sleep like that.
Yeah, I sleep like that, but it would make me hot and sweaty. But the Scandinavian stories, a lot of the Scandinavian stories are boring, slow. Let's go through them. The Moomins, Pippi Longstocking, the girl with the dragon tattoo, and Joe Nesbo.
I don't think that's for children.
No, I didn't say that. Sorry, did I say
Do you
for
watch
children?
Joe Nesbo? That's not real, is it?
Excuse me?
Huh?
Joe Nesbo, one of Scandinavia's most famous authors, wrote a book called The Snowman. You don't know Joe Nesbo?
No.
Wow, Kath, you just got schooled. You just got right royally schooled, mate. One of Scandinavia's biggest selling... after Stieg Larsson died, they were looking for new Scandi noir. And Joe Nesbo was plucked. He's written loads of... He or she, I'm not quite sure. Can never tell. I think it's a guy. Because I think it's a guy, because they're very violent books, and women cannot write violence. Joe Nesbo was written loads of, but just boring. Let's have your story, please, Catherine.
It was Mr. Larson, by the way.
Sorry?
The monkey.
Yes, the Stieg Larsson.
The first Moomin-themed amusement park and hotel outside of Finland, where the characters were created, is set to open. Guess where? Guess where? Guess where?
I wasn't listening. Sorry.
First Moomin.
Oh, in the Moomin Trolls.
Right. I'll ask the question again. The
Go
first
ahead, I'm listening now. Go.
Moomin-themed amusement park and hotel outside of Finland is set to open. Where?
Is it in the Moomin Forest?
No.
Is it in the forest?
Outside Finland.
The forest.
A different country.
Helsinki?
Who likes that sort of weird stuff?
Japanese.
Boo.
The Japanese.
Moomin Valley Park.
Do you know the Monty Python song Finland?
No.
Do you not know it?
No.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know Joe Nesbo. I don't know that.
I'm going to educate you. This is what I'm here for. Here we go. Have some of this. Here we go. This is great. Good old...
Oh, Joe Nesbo. Norwegian.
Yeah, okay, here we go. This is great. Listen to this. You not heard this? This is lovely.
Finland, 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 the country where I want to be, pony trekking or camping, or just watching TV. Finland, 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 it's the country for me. You're so near to Russia, so far from Japan, quite a long way from Cairo, lots of miles from Vietnam. Finland, 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 the country where I want to be, eating breakfast or dinner, or snack lunch in the hall.
Snack lunch in the hall.
Finland, 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 Finland has it all. You're so sadly neglected and often ignored, up for second to Belgium when going abroad. Finland, Finland, Finland.
I love it because Kath is hating it. It's making me love it even more.
I'm not hating it.
Your mountains so lofty, your treetops so tall. Finland, 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 Finland has it all. Oh, together, Finland! Finland, Finland, Finland.
Oh, I love. One of the best things about when I saw Monty Python live was seeing Michael Palin do comedy again. 'Cause you're so used to him doing travel stuff. Seeing him do comedy, this is what you should be doing.
I love Michael Palin.
Do you know?
Finland, Finland, Finland.
Hang on.
It just made me reminisce about my friend from Finland, Lotta.
Finland has it all.
Do you know?
Lotta was one half of a Finnish pair of identical twin sisters.
Do you know
Lotta,
this?
and she would speak like this.
Here we go. Here's something for you. This is John Denver.
And now the sound of John Denver being strangled.
You came on my pillow.
This It's such a good album. Do you not know? You don't know the Contractual Obligation?
I do. I do know that one. I think.
You know, this is.
I'm so worried about what's happening today in the Middle East, you know. And I'm so worried about the baggage retrieval system they've got at Heathrow.
Sorry, hang on, 2 more and then we're done. And then we're going to... this is great. Come on now. I'm not going to play all of this because this goes on.
I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights, no matter where they've been. I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights. I like traffic lights, but only when they're green. He likes traffic lights. He likes traffic lights. He likes traffic lights, no matter where they've been. He likes traffic lights. He likes traffic lights. He likes traffic lights, but only when they're green. I like...
Goes on for another 2 minutes.
Oh, my word. I'm doing that face. I've just been followed by something quite interesting.
Oh, go on.
Well, it's a Twitter account called Rhesus Negative People.
Oh.
And as you know, I am a no negative person.
Yes, you are.
Which means I've got unicorn blood
Yeah.
that everyone can have, but I have to have special.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it turns out you can date by type. Rhesus negative dating.
Okay. I'm interested. I'm in.
I don't really understand why we do that, so let's go to the website and see what that's all about.
Okay.
Datebytype.com.
You date by blood type?
Yes.
That's
very specific, isn't it?
It's a strange... Maybe
But
people
in
get horny for blood. Vampires.
In America, don't you have to have a blood test before you can get married?
No.
In films, they always go for a test.
No, they don't. Not always.
Well,
they just do it because...
when they go into that amount of
they
detail.
They do it in 90s films because of AIDS.
No, it wasn't. Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, of course they would.
But by the time you're talking about marrying someone...
Yep.
Surely if they're, infected with something, you're already in.
Let's go to CJ. Good evening, CJ.
Hello, good evening, guys.
Good evening, CJ. What can we do for you?
I used to have that album, the Monty Python album.
Yeah,
I had it on CD. I used to remember listening to it.
Hang on a minute. Michael Palin's going on tour? What? I'm in, totally. I'm getting tickets for Michael Palin. Let me look at Michael Palin's tour dates. Hang on, Michael Palin tour dates. Well, Saturday the 9th of June, my birthday. He's in Cambridge at the Corn Exchange, but unfortunately I'm hosting an evening with Kelsey Grammer then.
Oh, Kelsey Grammer.
Hey, here we go. Sunday. Are we doing a show on Sunday the 7th of July? We might be. Anyway, he's doing some shows. I'm going to go and see him. That's that. What have you got for us, CJ? Come on!
Awards.
Yes.
Last year, we had a building voted the worst designed building in the country.
Beautiful.
And they didn't give it awards. So, those blue plaques?
Yes.
I went and got one made for the building.
That's insane. You're crazy. You're a wild and crazy guy.
Yeah, it looks official. It's got the crest, the council crest on it. It says UK's worst designed building and a little smiley face.
Yes.
But I'm just trying to think of ways to actually stick it on the side of the building.
Blue tack? Black tack.
No more nails.
Have you ever seen black tack?
I've tried the no more nails. It doesn't work.
No. Well, super glue?
I've tried rhino.
By the way, we're not in any way encouraging vandalism, but you get that thing up there, boy.
Oh, it has to be done.
It has to be done. I don't know. I don't know. How would you stick something to brick?
Yeah.
What do you stick tiles up with?
Grout.
Grout.
Yeah, go and get some grout.
Get some grout.
Hope that answers your question, CJ. 0344 499 1000. I've got Nigel coming up in a bit. Let's take a break. This is Talk Radio.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. A champion angler. My boys want to go fishing, and part of me, I'm not a vegetarian now, so my moral, ethical reasons for not going is slightly weakened. But my main reason is it's boring. It's my dad, and it was boring.
I always fancy going fishing.
Boring. It's boring. A champion angler has been stripped of his prestigious title after being caught cheating. Marty Booth, 48, was awarded the top prize at the Paul Rogman European Open Beach Championship. He scooped £4,000 new fishing rods and was cheered by fellow competitors as he collected the coveted trophy. But organisers discovered he broke the rules by landing one half of his prize-winning catch outside competition hours. This guy's a scumbag! Forget Jackson! He's back! Jackson is back! Baxon Jackson! It's this guy, it's this scumbag, Booth. Marty Booth, 48, scumbag, liar, cheat. This guy's worse than Baxon Jackson.
But he did catch it. He didn't, just go to...
Outside of competition hours! Did he catch it? Is there video evidence? They've now disqualified Booth of Hartlepool and awarded victory to the runner-up. The guy's name! He's called Chris Fisher!
Oh!
More than 1,000 anglers, some from mainland Europe, scumbags, took part in the 3-day event at Spurn Point in Bridlington, East Yorks, last month.
Sorry, what now? What's it called?
Spurn Point in Bridlington.
Sperm Point?
Spurn.
Oh.
Crying out loud. In the main competition on days 2 and 3, the anglers' biggest fish on each day was recorded. Booth's catch on day 1 was a 2.385 kilogram cod. But he sneakily fished out of competition time that day and landed a 3.520 kilogram thornback ray. He submitted the fish hours later as though he'd landed on. This guy's scum!
Wow.
This guy's scum!
He really wanted to win.
Fellow competitor Matthew Hope, 44 of Hull, said to find out the winner was a cheat was absolutely sickening. He had the gall to stand on stage in front of all the other anglers and accept his trophy rods and prize money while we cheered. Scumbag! East Riding Council, which runs the event, confirmed a competitor was disqualified after an investigation. Booth was unavailable for comment. I hope that guy has his fishing licence taken away from him. Let's go to John. Good evening, John.
All right, Ian. How are we doing?
I don't know how we're doing. What have you got for us?
You tweeted out at the start of the show about beautiful funerals.
Beautiful funerals. We went to one today. Go on, what you got?
Well, tomorrow is 2 years since I buried my dad. Still found it pretty hard, but one of the things that helped me get through is that his funeral went perfect.
Go on.
My best friend's dad died about 5 years beforehand.
Yeah.
And my dad came with me, and he had a funeral with a humanist.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad had never been to a funeral like that before. You know, where they just play songs.
Yeah, and it's respectful and it's peaceful, but it's not God. It's not God and heaven and any of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's. I mean, if we'd have had a funeral like that for my dad, it would have been as if we were at a stranger's funeral. So it was sort of personal and perfect. And he came home and he said to me, "Mum, I've never been to a funeral like that before.
Wow. When
I pass away, that's what I want." And although you're absolutely devastated at the time, it gives you a bit of comfort that you know, it was perfect. It was exactly what we wanted. It was what he wanted, and it was.
There are
songs.
Go on. What songs did you have?
You cry. Well, when I was a kid, he used to sing Mull of Kintyre to me, so we had that.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one for a funeral.
Nice my father was for my sister.
Yeah.
And Dolly and Kenny, Islands in the
Yes, man! We had, for my dad, I can't remember what we had coming out, but as we walked in, and me and my sister chose this, which I thought was very kind of my stepmum, who I didn't know particularly well, to let us choose a song. We had Hello Again by Neil Diamond. Man alive.
My granddad's funeral, they played Save the Last Dance for Me.
Beautiful.
And that was the song that he danced with me at my wedding.
Oh, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
They just get you done in them songs that mean something, like, and then that's what it makes it so personal. And
and also I then couldn't listen to Hello. I mean, this was a few years ago. I couldn't listen to that song for a while. I can listen to it now, but it's now got so much more weight to it because I'm always going to think of me walking in with my dad's coffin on my shoulder. You know, that's what I'm going to think of, and it's sad and it's heartbreaking and it's beautiful at the same time. You know, it's like a connection with that moment.
It is, yeah. I mean, like you, I carried my father in and my mates and my brother. I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't want to see strangers carrying him, you know what I mean? So I felt like I knew it was going to be hard, but I wanted to do it.
Here's the
it's
thing.
the last thing you can do for them is to,
Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
And they do explain it to you when you before they put the coffin on the shoulders, they get the tall ones at the back, and the undertakers do kind of talk you through it. But the whole time, were you concentrating on your feet when you were carrying it in? Because you can't take very big steps. And so you're supposed to walk in step, and I think straight away I was out of sync with everyone else, and I'm thinking, oh God, don't let me be the one that trips over with this. This is awful.
To be honest, I was a bit of a mess, like crying and stuff. So my head was down, but I wasn't concentrating on my feet.
Right? Okay. Yeah.
I don't really know what was going on. But yeah, I suppose looking back on it now, I'm glad I did carry him, and I'm glad we had the sort of funeral we did.
Yeah, it sounds like you picked a nice one. Did you get up and speak Did you get up and speak, John?
I couldn't do that. No.
It's tough. It's a tough one.
We had stories from his sisters about when he was a kid and things he used to get up to and that, and so there was plenty of stories from his friends and his family and stuff. But I wouldn't have been able to get up and talk. Like.
Did you have a good laugh at the do afterwards?
A lot of his friends came up to me, and I look a lot like my dad. They were coming up and saying, "You're the double of him when he was your age," and all that, and that's nice as well.
Yeah.
He was a good-looking chap, my dad. You see.
There you go. You see, John. you got a bit of that. It's funny, the service. I mean, I got a few laughs when I spoke, and it was tough. It was tough. And there was a few good laughs in the service, but then a lot of tears, a lot of crying in the service, and then afterwards we popped next door. I think, no, where did we go? We went somewhere for the do, and it starts off a bit maudlin, a bit quiet, and then it was a good old laugh, and I had lots of. I didn't see my dad for years and years and years, and. There are all these people that I didn't know. He was quite a mysterious, slightly confusing gentleman. But all these people from different aspects of his life were coming up and telling me stuff that I didn't know because there were big gaps in my knowledge of what he got up to, And it's a tough one. It's a tough one burying a parent. It changes you. Whatever age it happens at, it changes you significantly, doesn't it?
Well, I've said to you in the past, I was 42 when I lost my dad. God knows what it would have been like at 13.
Yeah.
They teach about sex education and all that type of thing at school, but they don't really talk about losing loved ones.
No, they don't. I've said a lot that we should have death lessons at school because I'd be able to work it out, but I wouldn't know how to arrange. If you ask me now, I wouldn't know how to arrange a funeral. Apart from what you go to an undertaker, and I don't know.
But doesn't the undertaker sort of help you through it?
Yeah, they do. But I'm always suspicious of undertakers because they charge a fortune, and of course you want it's for mum, so I'm going to get the gold handles and all of that, and I think all of that's a con. I think it's all a con, isn't it? I just get a feeling that undertakers they're not. There are significantly cheaper options than what they're presenting you when they give you the catalogue. That's my feeling about it. Anyway.
Yeah, I would imagine there is, yeah.
But of course, at that point, you think, well, I want to do the best for mum or dad. I don't want to skimp, and I want to skimp on my mum's funeral.
Weddings, funerals, the times when your pockets are the loosest.
Yeah. John, thanks.
All right.
Go on, thanks for sharing that, mate. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Good night now.
You're a good man. Thank you very much, and good luck with the anniversary. Let's go to Nigel. Good evening, Nigel.
Oh, good evening, Ian. I've been listening to that. As you know, I sang at my mum's funeral.
Yeah, it must have been tough.
It was. I've got me out carry.
You didn't sing the Miley Cyrus. You didn't sing Miley Style. You didn't sing. Oh, you did her song. You didn't sing Miley Styley. Okay, good.
No, not that one.
No, that would have been a little bit inappropriate.
Obviously, I did sing with the karaoke machine. I've got out tonight.
Yeah.
I've got a good number for tonight. I Made It Through the Rain by Mary
Okay.
Manilow.
Well, listen, we've only got about 2 minutes, so do you want to crack on now?
I'll do that so I can get it all in then.
Well, hopefully, but okay, go on then.
I'll try. Here we go then.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. This is a good song, actually.
It is a good
song. It's a good song. About being an outsider.
I've got a feeling we're not going to be able to hear it very well.
I Made It Through the Rain.
No, we're not.
Oh, Jesus. We're not going to hear it again.
We dreamers have our ways of facing rainy days.
just...
And somehow we survive. We keep our flames alive. Protect them from the dawn. Then one day the sun appears, and we come shining through those lonely years.
I made it through the rain, kept myself protected. I made it through the rain.
I kept my point of view. I made it.
I'm looking forward to the key change. God, I wish I had faders. I'm looking forward to the key change. Maybe we'll get faders in the new place. Who knows? I think we really need to ramp the vibe up for the last hour. Last hour, we need to ramp the vibe up because this is just like sucking. Nigel's just like sucking me off here. In terms of vibe, sorry. Jesus.
And life seems so unkind. Sometimes you feel it great.
Here's the thing. I want to cut him off, but that feels cruel. I don't want to listen to the rest of it. That also feels cruel. Listening to the rest of it. Oh, God.
And start your own parade. But when I chase my fears away.
Oh, God!
Stop it.
There we go.
I'm going to cut him off. Yeah, you think that's the best thing to do?
We're done. We got the idea.
We're done. I just think. Right, okay. For the last hour, let's really ramp it up for the last hour. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Here's a message from the Haters Club, dedicated to the one I love. I've been cursed by your wicked kiss. Once felt it's forever missed, forever missed. I'm a member of the Haters Club, and I'm hating every minute of me without you, you without me. Give me some of that misery, that misery. I'm a high hater. I run with the best like Darth Vader and the Witch of the West, poisoning apples to make you ill, like Cruella de Vil. I'll set you up for the kill. It's such a twisted state of bliss, indulging in such hatefulness. I just need a prequel to redeem my evil, 'cause I wasn't always like this, like this. Seeing couples hand in hand makes it hard for me to understand. Me without you, you without me. Give me some of that misery, that misery. I'm a high hater. I run with the best like Darth Vader and the Witch of the West, poisoning apples to make you ill, like Cruella de Vil. I'll set you up for the kill. I'm jinxed with the curse. I got nothing but bad luck. Could I be superstitious? Don't blink. Cross my heart. Hope to die. Why's your love so vicious, 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 vicious? I'm a high hater. I run with the best like Darth Vader and the Witch of the West, poisoning apples to make you ill, like Cruella de Vil. I'll set you up for the kill.
Here we go. Last hour of the show, dear listener. 0344 499 1000. I have absolutely no idea why the newsreader sounds like he's doing it from a bucket. I have no idea what's going on. They're in the new studio. We're in the old one. They're in the new one. And we sound better than them. That's 20 million quid wasted. That's how the show is going to sound. 0344 499 1000 for the first... I'm a bit bunged up. For the first time this evening, the switchboard is empty, dear listener, so you can give us a call. We've talked about Michael Jackson. I'm a little bit bored of talking about Michael Jackson. I'm a little bit bored of it. You know, I just think that we're living in a very strange, weird, toxic time that's just fueled by self-serving idiots, both on the right and the left, primarily on the right, but there are some on the left as well. And these are dark days. These are dark days, guys. So let's celebrate life. Let's celebrate. Where was it? Oh, I saw. You know where I live now, right?
I'm aware of the place. Yes.
And you know, we went to a little village nearby, and we went and sat down in the chippy.
Yes.
Just up the road from there, there's a posh cheese shop. All they sell is posh cheeses. Just up the road. I got my sat nav. Here's the thing. So I got a car, right, and the car is 4 years old, I think, right, and it's got a built-in sat nav. And I've always used my telephone as a. Well, I used to have a TomTom. But then for the last few years, I've been using my telephone as a sat nav, and then this one's got a built-in sat nav, so I've been using that. You just get in. It's got a nice big screen. You type in where you're going. Bishy bashy bosh, you're off. But here's the thing, right? It took me a couple of times. It's quite often, if I know I'm going somewhere tomorrow, I'll be in bed and I'll just check on my phone on Google Maps. What time is? How long is it going to take? What time? Okay, I'll add a little bit longer because it'll be traffic. Blah, blah, blah. And quite often, I've got in my car and typed it in twice, and the car sat nav, the internal car sat nav, has like added about 15 minutes on the journey.
Right.
I used it to get to the crematorium today, and I thought this is longer than my phone was saying it was, and it's taken me quite a peculiar way, which is why I saw the cheese shop, because it took me a strange way around Wendover. And so basically, I think the sat nav in my car is out of date. Can I update it?
I think you can.
How do I update the sat nav in my car, and is it going to cost me hundreds of pounds?
Have you got a CD player?
Yes, I have, mate.
I think there might be. Is it a disc update?
You haven't got a clue, have you? Also, so I've got a CD player, right? And I noticed next to the CD player on the left, there's the eject button, and on the right, there's like a little sort of logo thing. And I was pushing the logo thing, 'cause it looked like a button, and it wasn't. But I was fingering it, and I could pull the little logo thing off, right? And there were some secret buttons behind the little logo thing.
Ejector seat.
I don't know what this cars are insane at the moment. Cars are insane.
Why don't you Google it?
I could read the book.
Yeah, Google it.
I could read the book. Let's go to. Is it Manjit?
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, Manjit.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm a first-time caller.
Well, welcome. It's the first time you're a first-time caller. It's the first time I've spoken to you. I'm assuming it's the first time, Catherine, you've spoken to me.
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, then this is a first
it's
for
a happy
all
time.
of us. These are happy days.
Can I just say, I've only just in the last couple of weeks started listening to talk radio, and I've been listening to the shows during the day, and then I've listened to your show in the evening, and you're absolutely hilarious. I just absolutely adore you. I think you're amazing.
Do you know what I'm going to say? Even though it's probably inappropriate, we adore you, Manjit. We adore you, and I'm glad you found us, because let's be honest, we could do with every listener that we get. It's a little bit lonely here at night times. Matthew Wright's got a load of listeners because they all want to hear about his baby and about his weird eye makeup and his wig. But we are lonely and sad. So it's nice to have you on board, Manjit. What have you called in for?
You just mentioned the Michael Jackson.
Yes.
I just finished watching both. It came on yesterday and today.
Yeah,
so
go on. What do you
I
make
watched
of it?
both of them. And you know, I'm talking as a fan from the 80s. I've been a fan of his since the beginning.
Back in the day.
And so I wanted to watch the documentary as I didn't want to be kind of biased and think, okay, I'm a fan, I'm not going to believe it. I watched it, and I don't actually believe the stories they're told, the two guys. I just feel they're both. I don't know what it is. I just feel like they conspired together.
Okay.
And
why? Why would they conspire?
I don't know. It doesn't seem convincing to me, and that's just me personally how I feel watching it. And
why? Okay, let's try and look at it, because do you know what? I haven't seen all of it. I'm going to be honest. I saw the first 50 minutes yesterday. Then we had to come and do the show, and we watched a bit of the first 50 minutes today, but it was kind of in the background. So I'm gonna give it the respect I think it deserves, and watch it properly again next week when I can sit down and focus on it. Right. Yeah. But what I saw, I was convinced by them. Which is odd because we're both coming at this from completely different directions. So can you? And this is a tough question because if it were asked to me, I would struggle. But I'll try and answer it in a minute. Can you put your finger on probably an inappropriate phrase? Can you pinpoint? Sorry. Can you pinpoint anything about them or what they said or how they said it that made you disbelieve them?
It's just where they were both, or Wade Robson was brought to defend him in court, and he defended him, and he was an adult then. He could have spoken up, and he defended and said nothing was, nothing inappropriate happened to him. And then it's just like after he died, Michael Jackson died. It's like they've thought, hang on, we could cash in here. I mean, this is obviously me. This is how I'm looking at it. Yeah. They're trying to get money from the estate from Netherlands. And, because
they won't be paid. Okay, because I've got a couple of possible answers to this. And by the way, it's nice to have a rational conversation about this. So thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you. Because they weren't, as far as I'm aware, they weren't paid to be in this documentary.
I know the documentary they didn't get paid. Yeah, they didn't get paid for that.
And someone today said, but there must be easier ways to make money than going on a film that's going to be seen around the world, a film that is going to create a significant backlash against you, and giving really and making up really intimate, physical, embarrassing, sexual claims. There's got to be easier ways to make money. And also, I'm guessing that you're not a victim of abuse.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, obviously, I wouldn't know how somebody feels.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. I am right on a significantly smaller scale than what they went through, but I am.
Yeah.
And I didn't talk. I used to joke about it and make light about it, and I didn't come out and say this is what had happened until after the bloke that did it had died.
Okay.
Because partly because he was very old when he did it anyway, although there were still some family members around, and partly because I just wasn't necessarily waiting for him to die. In fact, I wish I could have confronted him actually, but I just didn't feel ready until like 25 years after it happened to kind of come out and own it. Because of the shame and because I hadn't told my mum and I didn't want my mum to find out and so all of that. So I can understand why they would wait until someone had died, and I can also understand they were in love with him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're completely.
They were in love with him, so I can understand. Yeah, I can understand why they would defend him in court. I mean, when did they defend? Because I've not seen this, but again, I've read this bit. Did they defend him when they were kids as well? Wasn't there a bit where he said, if you have to say this hasn't happened because we will both go to prison if people find out about this.
I think it's when the Geordie Chandler case came forward, and then they tried to bring on board Wade and the other guy to kind of defend him when they were young kids.
Yeah.
And obviously when Wade Robson came to court when he was an adult, the other guy, I can't remember his name, but he didn't want to come forward, and that's when he kind of broke down and confessed what happened to him.
Because we do think that when it happens to you as a kid, okay, fine, but then when you're 25, 35, that it must be easier to talk about. And it isn't always. That's why a lot of Savile's victims didn't speak up for 50 years. Some of them didn't speak up for 50 years.
Also, you've got to remember, they'd lied to their mums about it. Yeah. And their mum had also been quite taken with Michael Jackson as well. I feel like the boys weren't the only ones that were groomed. The mums were charmed as well, weren't they?
Yeah, they were saying like the parents were, lavished with gifts and lovely hotels and whatnot. But I don't know. And I'm not genuinely saying it because I'm a fan of Michael Jackson. I've watched it as with an open mind, and I just watched it, and I didn't feel convinced. I don't know what it is. I just don't feel convinced by, and either it's because I don't understand what they've been through, and it's kind of hard.
Well, listen, you should. Hey, I do believe them, but hang on to your gut feeling. If that's your gut feeling, then you have to go with it. And I really appreciate, Manjit, that because I've been arguing with people on Twitter, mainly for sport, actually, but a lot of people have been. Have saying they don't believe them, but saying it in a very aggressive, nasty, belittling manner, and anyone that believes it is just being sucked in by the mainstream media and all the hype. So I appreciate you phoning up and sharing your gut feeling with us in a very mature, reserved way. So thank you for that.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed listening to you guys, and just keep up the good work.
Hey, nice one. Thank you, Manjit. I appreciate that call. There we go. That's how you do it.
Wow.
Thank you. What a brilliant call. What a brilliant call.
Did you hear that? That was a disagreement, but a friendly disagreement.
Yeah, and again, Suleiman, who called up yesterday, was earlier tweeting, well, you don't want Jackson fans because you're convinced. No, I am convinced, but when it's a conversation like that, that was a pleasure to have.
You can't disagree with someone who says it just doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if that's your gut feeling, then go with it. I think gut feelings are really, really important. And I am prepared to be proved wrong. If at some point there is evidence that comes out that proves... Because the evidence that's out there that proves, in inverted commas, these guys are lying, I've looked at a lot of it. It doesn't prove anything. It proves they changed their story. It doesn't prove anything. It's not evidence. It's not the facts that people are saying they are.
I could understand why they would defend him if they adored him, and he made them feel special, and it was the strongest relationship of that kind they'd ever experienced. I completely get it.
Here's the thing I'm going to say, and I said it on Twitter, and I'm going to say it now, and this is the most controversial thing. Thriller was shit. Not just the song, the whole album.
Oh,
it was shit. It's a terrible record. It's a lousy record.
That was the first record I ever bought on tape.
Yeah.
I really like Pretty Young Thing, and I can't listen to it anymore.
No, because you know what he's singing about.
Well,
I don't mean.
I can't listen to any of it anymore.
You Are Not Alone, of course, written by.
Oh, hang on, I do know this.
You Are Not Alone.
R. Kelly.
Yeah, it's written by R. Kelly and produced by Fred West.
Oh God, imagine. I mean, I just can't listen to the stuff anymore.
And that might change over time. This is it. It's all still very raw and very emotional. It's,
I still love Off the Wall.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. That's how you do it, Manjit. Thank you for that. That's how you do it, everyone. You phone up and we have a little discussion and we put forward our points and we declare all bias at the start and you do it. So I'm happy to have those discussions. This is Talk Radio.
Experience the unconventional.
Hello.
The unpredictable.
Don't you think that's a bit weird?
And the completely unorthodox.
It was my birthday.
With rule-free Iain Lee.
I was just trying to generate a bit of content.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Hate alarm clock. Hate going to work.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Can you get that phone call back, please? Thank you very much indeed. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio. Fair play, Suleiman has tweeted. I stand corrected. That was a great conversation. That's what I was trying to do, something like that in my call yesterday. I just felt I was being attacked and interrupted. That's why I probably came across raw, WWF.
The way I looked at that conversation...
The way I see it...
is that...
you just can't win it.
He was expecting to be attacked, so he'd come on with all his ammo. And unfortunately, they weren't listening to each other the same way that Manjit did.
Also, you've got to declare an interest.
Yeah.
You've got to declare an interest. Number one... Michael Jackson impersonator.
In the
You've got to
world.
declare that. You have to declare that. Have you called him? What? Just say it. No number. Did they not? I thought a name came up, didn't it?
Yeah, but the number's not there.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Next time, just grab him. Just grab him, man. It's the phoning show. Just grab him. That's all we need. We need the phone calls. What you got, Boyley?
E-cigarettes are not safe.
Oh, no!
This is according to the Daily Mail. Scientists discover vapours are nearly twice as likely to wheeze, which can lead to acid reflux, heart failure and even cancer.
But they're safer than smoking.
They're not safe for your lungs, researchers have declared on the back of another worrying study into vaping. This is the thing, right? You only find out about this stuff with time and experience. Scientists found vapours are nearly twice as likely to suffer wheezing and difficulty breathing than those who do not smoke or use e-cigs.
Yeah.
These symptoms occur when the airways become inflamed and narrow, which can lead to COPD, acid reflux, heart failure and even lung cancer. While e-cigarettes are generally thought to be less harmful than cigarettes, studies have linked their use to heart disease and cancer. The latest research by the University of Rochester Medical Centre adds to the growing fears over the devices. The take-home message is electronic cigarettes are not safe when it comes to lung health, study author Dr. Deborah Ossip, a professor in the Department of Public Health Sciences.
Don't do it. Just don't do it, guys.
It's not smoking.
Don't do it.
See, that's the thing that was sort of peddled, wasn't it? It's not really smoking. Well, it's as bad as.
Listen, vapists, you disgust me. I have no time for you. You do not belong in my life. That's what I'm going to say. 0344 499 1000. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's go to George. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Iain, Kath. Thank you very much. The tapes arrived this afternoon.
Well. There you go. I'm glad they got there.
Nicely wrapped.
Nicely wrapped. They found a nice bit of bubble wrap. You see, I love a bit of bubble wrap.
Very sexy.
Very sexy.
I don't know. I've never played with bubble wrap before.
Get it in both hands and then just twist it. It's so satisfying.
Yeah, no, really nice feel to it.
Yeah.
Tell me truthfully, did you ever listen to any of those tapes?
No.
Why not?
Oh, George, come on. I'm really not in the mood for a self-analysing phone call where I'm, where I'm supposed to feel bad because I didn't do something. I didn't do it. George, I told you why. Because I was getting a divorce and life has been pretty tough and I just wasn't as focused as I wanted to be. There you go, man.
Okay, it interests me.
I apologise that I had them for so long. That was bad of me. I should have sent them back earlier or done what we said we were going to do. It didn't happen. I'm really sorry. It was my fault. I apologise.
No, there's nothing to apologise for. It just, I don't know, perplexes me that you wouldn't be interested to listen to them.
Didn't say I wasn't interested. Didn't say I wasn't interested. I said life got in the way.
Yeah. Life does get in the way.
Life gets in the way. Yeah. Yes, it does. Have you got anything for us, or I'm going to move on?
You doing anything on April the 14th?
Yes.
Are you?
Busy.
Yeah.
What day is that?
Sunday.
Yeah, I've got the kids.
Okay. I don't even know what I'm going to be doing on April the 14th, but I'm going to try and do something.
Is it the 30th anniversary of something not happening?
Yeah, well, it's the 34th anniversary of the famous
something not happening
penny party at the Camden Palace.
I remember.
When it was a penny to get in and was supposed to be £3 to get out, but it didn't work.
So it didn't happen.
Sorry?
It didn't happen.
Well, the event happened, but the result didn't happen.
Right.
It was
instead of celebrating or commemorating things in the past that didn't happen, make new stuff.
Well, I keep trying to make new stuff. That's why I'm looking forward to this April the 14th.
Why don't you do on a different date?
Do it on
something
April the
completely
30th.
fresh.
Do it on April the 21st. Do it on May the 9th. Do it on June the 16th.
No, it's a special date for me anyway. It was the birth date of my ex-girlfriend, the love of my life.
So again, another thing that didn't happen. Says, stop looking to the past. Look to the future. It's only just begun.
I'm always looking to the future.
But with a very retro, over-the-shoulder glimpse.
Well, it's just the way things seem to go round in circles all the time.
It feels like you're always trying to rectify things you were disappointed by the first time around.
No, I've just spent 35 years trying to start a peaceful revolution, and that's what I'm still trying to do. I think you should start a violent revolution.
I think the peaceful thing isn't working. I think you need to pick up arms. You need to bear arms.
No.
Yeah. Get a mace.
I've written I've written my best ever lyric that is starting to circulate now.
I've not seen it.
It's called Well, I haven't got your email to send it to you anymore.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
We both laughed at that. That was a burn.
What's Catherine's email? I could send
Private.
it to her.
It's privatelady@yahoo.co.uk. That's privatelady@yahoo.co.uk.
Anyway, the lyrics called "The End of Doze" and D-O-Z-E. I'll just give you the chorus, and then I'll say...
Don't bore us, get to the chorus.
The chorus is... What is the chorus?
Oh, God. George, I'm so losing the will to live. This is going to send me into a doze.
No, it isn't.
Well, you're very good at telling me what is... You're right, it's not, because we're going to move on. Let's go to Matthew. Good evening, Matthew.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Matthew.
All right.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
You're right at the back?
At the front?
Yeah, all right at the front. All right at the top, all right at the side.
Everyone's all right.
Okay, cool, Kath.
I am.
Kathy's short for cathedral.
Catheter.
Kathy's short for her tiny legs. Kathy's short for Catholic.
Tell her to do a German accent.
Sorry?
German accent.
I'm Dr. Westheimer.
Kath?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was going to phone in about Michael Jackson, the documentary. I watched it Monday, I think it was. Both episodes.
Okay. You watched it from an illegal streaming site. Oh wow. Okay, we have to report you to the authorities.
No, I tripped over to the US.
Okay.
To watch it on
fair play.
Just briefly, yeah.
Fair play. All right, no, that's good, because otherwise we would have had to have reported him to the authorities for illegally streaming something. Okay, well, that's fine. You didn't do copyright theft. Okay, good. Go on.
No. I'm pretty convinced, actually, by what the family said, and there's too much detail there for the way I look at it for it to be made up. And basically, he's
well,
guilty.
okay. Well, hang on a second, but I could make that stuff up. I could easily describe a sexual encounter that hadn't happened with an older man in graphic detail.
Yeah, I suppose.
So what? Because I'm just applying the same thing that I applied to Manjit, who didn't buy into them. So what was it about their testimony that convinced you that they were telling the truth?
At first, I thought they were acting, to be honest. But the more I watched it, and the more I listened, and the more you could see that it wasn't so much the details of the sexual acts; it was the manipulation involved, and the constant phone calls and the grooming of the family, really. That's just my personal opinion on it, and that's what I took from it.
And by the way, I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, what about the parents? What about the parents?
Yeah,
I do think
the parents, they were groomed as well.
Well, yes, they were, but...
Specifically the mums, actually.
I do think that there are some questions there.
Yeah.
Because again, it's a different... You can kind of argue it was a different time. Okay. But I do think that any parent that lets their 8, 9, 10-year-old boy go off and stay with a pop star like that, I do think that they've not made a great decision.
Of course. There are different times, as we've discussed before, where paedophilia wasn't quite as openly discussed, right?
Yep.
There are people now who believe the thing about Michael Jackson being so different that you can't judge him as you can anyone else, saying he's a child.
Yeah.
So, and these are people who weren't hanging out with him regularly.
Well,
these women were washing his smalls at one point, like he was a kid.
Just because somebody has fame and fortune and has a lot of money, they should not be judged by a different blueprint to anyone else.
No.
And so, on that basis alone, it's looking dodgy, isn't it?
I think he is clearly. He was a sweet-natured. He came across as a sweet-natured, damaged person that you wanted to look after.
Yeah.
So, and I think that particularly appealed to those women, and also they wanted their kids to have this really special experience. I don't believe for a minute that those women thought that they were offering their children up sexually to him. I really don't believe it.
No, I don't believe that.
Okay, well,
they were just blinded by the attention he was giving them, and they were caught up in it.
Tomorrow we are going to be having a Michael Jackson record burning session. If anyone wants to, there will be a big. I was going to say black bins, but that's probably inappropriate. There will be bins all over the country. We'll be letting you know the drop-off points. You will be able to drop your CDs, your records, your posters and your books in there, and then they will be ignited. That's what they did with the Beatles. That's what America did with the Beatles, bigger than Jesus. They did. Sessions. Yes, there's footage of it. There's footage of burning parties and people jumping up and down on this stuff. It's incredible. A lot of it organised by the KKK as well, which is weird, man.
Wow. Talking of the Beatles, guess what I've got?
The Beatles.
The White Album, new stereo mix.
Is that all?
Vinyl.
Is that all, mate? Because I've got the White Album box set with the 6 CDs in it, buddy. So, yeah,
you out-trump me there.
I out-trump a lot of people.
Oh, don't I know it?
I out-trump a lot of people. Matthew, thank you very much indeed. Let me play you a bit of footage. You won't be able to see this, Catherine, but this is after the... you won't be able to see this, dear listener, apologies. But you'll hear it. Catherine, you'll see it. This is after the Beatles came out and said they were bigger than Jesus, and there were protests at concerts. Describe what you can see there, please, Catherine.
It's a man in a hood.
It's a KKK dude. He's wearing sunnies. He's being interviewed outside a stadium. This is what he's saying. Oh, hang on.
No, not
really.
Oh, no,
that's the wrong one.
It's a happy place. That's all.
Hang on.
It was just...
That's not his voice. That's the voice of Paul McCartney.
Here we go.
Bill's made a statement in all the newspapers that they're getting more better than Jesus himself, and the Ku Klux Klan, being a religious order, is going to come out here the night that they appear at the Coliseum here, and we're going to demonstrate with different ways and tactics to stop this performance. The Klan is going to come out here because we're the only organization that will come out and make a stop to these accusations. This is nothing but blasphemy. And we're going to try to stop it any terror way we can, but it's going to stop. We're known as a terror organization. I think we have...
A terror organization?
We have ways and means to stop this if this is going to be the case, yes.
What ways and means?
Well, I don't want to say this, but there'll be a lot of surprises Monday night, I believe, when they get here.
Where did he get his outfit from? It looks like a sort of knockoff.
And he's also wearing sunnies. It's strange, isn't it? 0344 499 1000. Let's go to Andrew. Good evening, Andrew.
Oh, it's not. It's Dreamweaver.
Okay,
hello?
Dreamweaver. Yes, hello.
Hello. No, I went to James Well using the name Andrew. Sorry, once because.
Why would you do? Why would you do that? Why would you betray? Why would you betray your true identity?
Come on, James Well would not understand someone called Dreamweaver.
No, he did. He spoke to me once, but it was about a subject when I was in Winchester Prison last year, and it was about this spice oil and about people attacking people, and I didn't want to be giving my name out because a lot of people knew me in Winchester Prison. So.
Okay, well, you've just kind of... Well, okay.
Come out, okay.
Okay, well, you've just told everyone now.
I don't mind now.
Okay, now it's gone. Now it's gone past. It's gone.
That's in the past. I'm in the present now.
Que sera, whatever will be, will be. Dreamweaver's on the radio.
But seriously, if you'd have gone to James Well saying your name was Dreamweaver, you'd have had 10 minutes on why your name was Dreamweaver.
Yes.
He did ask it the first time. Yes. I like James Well. I followed him for years.
It's an unusual name. It's a strange, unusual name, and people are interested.
It took a long time to take on that, but it's on now. And my original name was Andrew.
I can see why you changed it. Imagine a baby Andrew now.
I know.
Baby Andrew, baby Alan. Well, I had one of my Japanese teachers married a Scotsman, and they had a baby, and it was baby Alan. Baby Alan. I mean, great baby.
Yeah.
Great baby. Great baby. What you got for us, Dreams?
Well, I wanted to talk about one subject, but I wanted to say television can make or break a president, can't it? It's the Michael Jackson thing. It's sort of, I don't watch it. I don't watch television, so it's very difficult.
What do you mean make or break a president? What does that mean?
Well, with the television, they can put on there what they want, and they can, if you've got the right producer, it can be pointed in the right direction to say, that's what I want to say. You know?
Well, that's what television is.
But most people are now saying that Donald Trump's an idiot, and yet he's still the president, so...
I like hearing him talk, I don't like what he says, but I like hearing him talk.
I like hearing him talk, yeah. It's like your dotty old granddad who's a little bit racist and can blow up the world. I like hearing him talk. I think he's got a nice I got a nice voice. I got the nicest voice. The things I say, the best things. I say the best things. That's not bad. I say the best things. You know, I got the biggest balls. You know, my balls, they're the biggest balls. I've got the best sperm.
Have you ever included impersonations on your stand-up when you used to do it?
Yeah, I still do. My latest DVD is I would say it's about 60% impressions, which for me, I mean, this is DVD number 5, live at Jongleurs. 60% impressions, and it's the direction I'm going in. It's
called Iain Lee, This Is Me.
Yeah. And it's the direction I'm going in. Yeah, I just haven't quite got the bravery to just dive into it 100%. And maybe I just need to go for it, Dreams.
Give us a few. Give us your Sean Connery.
Yes, this is Sean Connery, and I would like to say that I was James Bond.
Very good.
James Bond.
Now Terry Wogan.
You're so inspiring. It's so inspiring.
It's inspiring.
I bring a lot of what you guys say and do into my life.
It's gospel. You should take it as gospel.
Oh, absolutely.
Hello, there's Terry Wogan. And today
I need to come and see you guys in Brighton. That's what I need to do.
Well, you need to buy tickets because there's only 10 tickets left, and once they're gone, they're gone.
I'll be on the site tomorrow then.
You've got to do it. You've got to do it, Dreams. If you do it, we're going to make you part of the show.
It's the travelling, because of autism and everything, and I'll try and find somebody that will drive me there, or I get on the train. And,
I thought you lived... Do you not live in Brighton, then?
No, Petersfield.
Where is... does Peter mind? Hang on. Does Peter mind that you live in his field?
No.
Is he okay with that? Peter's okay?
I live right in the centre of his field. No. He's got a big church next to me as well.
Is it now? Here's what I like. I like people that move into villages near churches and then complain about the noise of the church bells and then get them stopped. Those people... Good. Complain. Complain is your right as someone who lives near who's moved near a church, is your right to get those bells stopped. And you should do. How dare they?
Well, I'm moving anyway. I'm moving in the next month, so...
Next to a mosque?
Into a next to a monastery, in fact.
Oh, those monks. It's not the Buckfast Monastery, is it?
No, it's not. It's in Hampshire.
Okay.
I think it's a Buddhist.
Oh, so not proper monks,
yeah.
Not proper.
Yeah, no actual proper monks.
No, not proper English.
They're the best monks.
I got beef with Shaolin monks. They get right. They seriously injured me once by dropping me on a bed of nails instead of lowering me on it gently. And I've got very little time for the Shaolin monks. And I will say that to their face. I will kick off. I will get my nunchucks out, and I will teach them how to walk on rice paper grasshopper.
And they'll bring out the whirling dervishes.
I don't think that's a Shaolin. I have been to. I stayed in a Buddhist youth hostel 10 years ago. So when I was an adult, and I stayed in a Buddhist youth hostel in Japan. And I was thinking, do you know what? It was only for a couple of nights because we wanted to go to this tiny little village where a big festival was on, and all the hotels were booked up. So we stayed there for like 3 nights, and it was awful. Actually, it was a youth hostel. Dear God, it was awful. But I thought it'd be nice because I wouldn't mind talking to the monks about it and stuff. But all there was one American monk called Woody, really miserable, and I just wanted to chat to him about giving up your life and becoming a monk and stuff and Buddhism. And he just didn't want to talk about it.
I met a Buddhist monk once, and he was like the most serene, contented person I'd ever
miserable. I bet he was miserable.
Lovely.
Yeah,
lovely.
I bet he was miserable.
The universe provides.
Yeah, I bet he was grumpy.
No, he wasn't. He was
They're
nice.
not that approachable, really. No.
This guy was.
Was he? Oh, that's good, because I get some in town every Friday, and they stand there, and you smile at them, and they don't really give you any eye contact or anything. I find that quite strange, but... Yeah,
I'm not a fan of... I'm not a fan of the Shaolin or the Buddhist monks, and I can't... Let's just say, once this Jackson thing dies over, I think the next target for this show is going to be monks of all denominations, apart from the English ones. I like those guys. Those guys are great.
I love that you play your relaxing music in the background anyway, your Peruvian flute and all that, I think it was. And I wanted to talk about urine therapy.
Sorry?
Quickly.
Hang on a minute. Well, I'm in therapy or piss therapy?
No, urine, you're drinking urine.
Oh, my God.
You were speaking last night, and I thought, ooh.
I've tried that.
I've been doing that for 4 years now.
And look, you're completely normal. Dreamweaver.
Well, my skin's good. I put it on my skin, and I do all of it.
What's wrong with a bit of soap? What's wrong with a bit of palm olive?
Well, it's got palm oil in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
palm oil.
Get away from all that stuff. Yeah. But I make my own soaps anyway. So.
Out of we.
I hope.
Sorry?
They're not brown, are they?
No. Olive.
Best soap ever was the soap you'd get that when you wash your hands it made you go black because it was like joke soap. As the you remember the joke soap?
Yes, I do.
And the thing is, right, as a kid you get the joke soap and then you go, Dad, do you want to go upstairs and wash your hands? No. Yeah, no, Dad, you should go upstairs. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, just go upstairs and wash your hands, but don't use the normal soap. There's a new soap up there. Just, right. Fine. Oh, my hands have gone all black. Oh, did you do this? Yeah, got you, Dad! Got you, Dad!
That's early Ashton Kutcher punked.
Got you, Dad! Got your black hands, Dad!
So anyway, you've been wiping your face with it?
I do it on my face. I do it on my whole body, in fact, my feet and everything.
You don't wipe your... When you say your whole body, do you wipe your taint with it?
Oh, God.
No, I don't think it's necessary.
No, so that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. The rest of it is necessary.
Definitely, that's why I look so young and virile.
and stink of piss.
Is there a smell when you warm up?
What, sorry?
Is there a smell when you warm up?
No, I get rid of the first little bit in the morning, and then I catch the middle bit and then throw the second part away. So I use that, and then I do the same in the afternoon. But it comes out clear. It's like water anyway. There's no real yellow in that at all.
What does it taste of?
I don't know. I kind of blank that out, but it feels like it definitely does me good. I couldn't do without it now.
He's an addict.
But it's, I did it in prison and they tried to stop me for 6 weeks, and
it is your right as a human being. Is your excretions. You should be. This is Grayling. This is another Grayling thing when he was in charge of prison. It's your right to reabsorb your excretions back into your body. It's your right. No man can stop another man from drinking his own pee-pee.
What's wrong with a nice cup of tea?
Pee in it.
I love it. But it's the first thing in the morning. It's just, my skin's tighter.
Bit of brown sugar.
I do it on my hair. It's great for conditioning. And my dreadlocks, anyway. Yeah.
Dreadlocks, of course, yeah.
You must have a good aim.
There's no smell. Yeah. Oh, my hair.
I mean, you say there's no smell, but maybe you've got used to it.
Is that like dog owners who say, well, my house doesn't smell of dog, and you go in and you go, whoa, it's a bit ripe. Every dog... Listen, if you've got a dog, your house smells of dog. You think it doesn't. It does, trust me. And maybe it's the same with the old urine therapy.
Yes. Well, most men and women who use moisturisers, things like that, are using urine in that. So
yeah, but it's like
not neat.
It's a tiny little percentage mixed in with cream.
Yes.
Do you ever mix yours in with cream? You know what I'm saying, Jelly Bean?
Oh, don't go there.
Because that stuff is supposed to be great for the skin. That stuff is supposed to be great. It is. Semen is supposed to be great for the skin. We know that, right? That's a fact. So do people, and Dreamweaver, maybe you're the person to do this, do gentlemen use their own?
They use their own. I haven't. But that guy that Katherine was talking about not so long ago, who injected it into his spine, I think that was a bit...
He injected semen into his spine. That was a true story, yeah.
Yeah, that had negative consequences.
Yeah.
Massively, didn't it? I mean, I couldn't imagine wanting to do that. I know people that have injected their own urine into them and
excuse me?
In certain areas, but I don't see the point in that.
Well, hang on. Where are they inject? This is nuts. Where? Well, maybe that's where. Where are they injecting the urine?
Into the anus.
What?
I was going to make a joke about that, and I thought that was a stretch too far. But now you're telling me they put it in their anus.
Yeah, in the side of the anus, not anus hole. Into the buttock.
Yeah, so not into the anus hole. So into the buttock. Okay, right, fine.
Into the buttock.
Why would you? Yeah. Why would that? Has got to be a terrible idea.
Well, they say, because with urine, what it does is it drags out loads of nutrients that you have in your body. It doesn't stay in your body long enough. And so what you do is you're losing a lot of the really powerful nutrients for you. So you put it back down again and you give it a second flush. And it just keeps going through and going through. And I'd never flush it down the toilet. It's always going on to the allotment compost.
Never flush it.
Else.
That's a waste. That's a waste. That's a waste of God's gift.
Yeah.
All right, Dreamweaver, you've given us nightmares. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Moonlit musings from mums, madams, and meat patties.
matters.
Oh, never mind, I must have misheard.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
The station's brilliant.
On Talk Radio.
Nearly half of young Brits spend more time in bed on their mobiles than they do having sex, a study has found. Nearly half of young Brits spend more time in bed on their mobiles. Okay,
but that means over half don't.
Yes. 2 in 5 of them, 42%, confess they are more interested in playing with their smartphones than playing with their penises. Than playing with their partner. A fifth of relationships are marred by bickering over smartphone use, while a quarter of men and a fifth of women, aged 25 to 34, have shunned Nookie to use their Nokia. Nearly a quarter put off sex to check their work emails. Online searches, playing games and looking at social media were also common excuses. You idiots. Let's go to Catherine. Good evening, Catherine.
Hi. I don't know if you remember, I called last week. I'm the lady that's currently laid up with an amputated toe, and I've got cancer.
Oh, flipping it! Yes, I do remember, Catherine. How's it all going?
It's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. I just wanted to ring you about the topics that you've been discussing.
Yes, go on.
The Michael Jackson thing. I don't have a view one way or another. I have the same as the lady that called earlier. Yeah. I have a gut feeling. Yeah. But I was abused from the ages of 9 till I was 19. And the worst part of it was that he was a family member. So I saw him at weddings and funerals and parties, and there was just no getting away from it, you know. And I didn't tell anyone until I was 19, and I phoned, of all people, my brother-in-law, because he was the only person I could think of who was like really big and muscular, and I told him, and he said, "Don't move, I'm coming round."
Wow.
And he got in the car, and I told this person that he was on his way, and I've never seen anyone get dressed so fast, and he zoomed out the door. He was told that I knew by his sister, and she sat me down and asked me why I didn't tell her, and I said because I didn't think you'd believe me, because I saw him every single Saturday night as well, because I babysat her children. So he would come round when he left. But I just couldn't tell anyone because I thought she wouldn't believe me, because I wasn't particularly attractive child or anything, and I thought, well, I don't understand why he's doing this. But she just looked at me, held my hand, and she said, "I know you're telling me the truth," she said, "because he did it to me."
Oh.
And I just thought, oh, God, years and years and years of sort of not wanting to go to family weddings or anything. And I still see him now, and he's got 2 daughters. And it just, it's just unbelievable, actually. You know, but I've dragged myself out of it, and I luckily met my husband, and you know what? He's got to deal with it as well. It's not just me, because with everything that goes on, he never knows whether I am going to report it or I'm not.
Have you ever, and this is not in any way a judgment either way, I'm just curious, have you ever confronted him about it, or spoken to him about it, or asked him about it?
No.
No.
Because I really dislike him. And I don't want to be anywhere near him.
Oh, no, I get that. And it's not in any way me saying that you should.
No.
I'm just was curious.
Yeah, no, I couldn't talk to him about it. But he knows that I know, and he knows that I've told people. And he knows that, obviously he knows his sister knows, and the only person that doesn't know is my brother that's married to his sister. Because he has my brother has a very violent temper, and he would just, and I don't want that.
No.
Not in any way, shape or form.
No,
you know, one in the family, suffering's enough. I don't want everyone else doing it. But I never told my mum or my dad, and know. I regret that in a way because they've passed now.
And there will be people. I get it, right? I get it, and a lot. I think most of our listeners would get it. Why you haven't confronted him, and why you haven't told certain members of your family. But there will be people. It's proved by this Jackson thing.
Yeah.
There will be people going, well, hang on. Why didn't she tell her mum and dad? Why did she? You know. And I just wondered how all of this stuff is kind of online at the moment and is in the press, and I just wondered how hearing people say things like that might make you feel as someone who's lived it and living it.
It doesn't make me feel one way or the other, to be honest. Okay. I know what happened to me. I didn't want to distress my mum and dad. Plus the fact, and this is not a fault on anyone's side, but I was raised as a very strict Roman Catholic. And I think if I'd have told my mum, the first thing she would have done would have either called me an attention seeker, or she would have just said, well, you're a liar. So I never told her. That's what I think she would have reacted like. I don't know for definite.
No.
So, no, I don't. I didn't.
No, you protected yourself.
Yeah.
You do whatever you have to do to survive.
Well, yeah, you do. Yeah. Definitely, you do. But I wish I'd have told some. I wish I'd have just stopped babysitting and all that, you know. I wish I'd have done that. I wish I'd have courage to just say,
Listen, we've got literally a minute left, so I'm about to ask quite a heavy question. Do you blame yourself?
Sometimes I wonder if I'd done anything to encourage it, but you go over it. Certain times you get melancholy, and you go over bits in your life that you think you should have acted on, and you didn't. And I sit there sometimes and I think, well, what would have happened if I'd have confronted him? What would have happened? You know, why did he choose me? Because I was nothing special. That's what I kept thinking.
Well, yeah, but you were something, and you are something very special, and you know you've done nothing wrong, and that you are a beautiful, wonderful human being who was taken advantage of, and you were manipulated and controlled by someone who had more power than you.
Oh God, yeah.
Catherine, we have to go.
Okay.
Are you okay? I feel bad kind of ending it like this. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's a really powerful call to end the show with. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I like talking to you, Catherine. Take care. We'll speak again soon. Bye-bye. Her calls are incredible, you know. Thank you. That's the end of the show. I think that's a pretty powerful way to end it. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you to all of the callers, actually. I enjoyed that today. Well, should we have a laugh tomorrow? Should we have a laugh Friday night? We'll have a laugh. Unless something happens. But we'll have a laugh. Do stay tuned. Coming up after 1 o'clock, of course, it's Paul Ross. Don't forget, if you want to hear more of us, there's podcasts aplenty, and you can go on iTunes or Acast and have a look. Coming up 1 o'clock, it's Paul Ross. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio. Digital debate for the UK.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.